What's up, everybody? I remembered to turn my mic back on in the last second. Yeah, it's gonna be no hat J today. Uh, the hair is just getting too wild for the hat, and I told Jenna until the week before Superman comes out, I'm just not gonna cut my hair. So it's starting to get a little too much to try to keep under the hat. So I was like, screw it. And want to show y'all real quick. Blueberry Bulldog jersey Jenna got me. Love it. Love it. I've been loving hockey jerseys. I'm not like a super hockey fan, but I enjoyed playing street hockey and ice hockey when I was a kid. So loving these jerseys. We're starting to get into them. Still waiting for my DX football jersey, but you know, I notice I don't have my chat pulled up. So let me just put the overlay here, just in case anybody shows up, starts saying anything. But hey, hope you're all having a safe and awesome week. Thanks for joining. We're gonna have a bunch of people on. Well, I say a bunch, but probably about 4, 5 maybe. Um, we're going to be talking about Daredevil. And I want to go ahead and warn everybody right now. We're going to be talking spoilers. We're going to be not breaking the episodes down or anything like that. Like I'm not that good with this stuff. What's up, Note? But we're going to be talking spoilers. We probably end up mix matching episodes because I got to get used to the fact that since it's on Disney Plus, they dropped 2 episodes and then it's going to weekly. And I think new episodes, it does look like a wild dog jersey. Yeah. It's the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs from Shorzy. Um, but they're going to drop a new one every Tuesday. So, um, Sean, this was actually Sean's idea. He will be here in a little while. Just want to do the housekeeping stuff before I bring in my regular co-host. Um, So the last time I checked, and again, this number fluctuates sometimes, but it's been holding steady for just a minute. No, it hasn't. We're 10 subs away from 600. We were 9, like 2 days after the last show, and then it went back to 90, and then it went back to 91, and now it's back to 90 right before the show. But that's okay. It's all right. So the subs are just like, hey, it's cool to see, but it's just being able to talk to y'all and put on shows for y'all and bring y'all on. That's all I really need. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll say that at the end too. Also, wanted to give a bit of a shout out to our buddy Phable at One Collection Down. Phable has an awesome Friday show that unfortunately I can never watch because I'm working that on Friday. But it's the all new, all different Blame Phable show. Now, Phable, I want to say himself is about 8 or 9 subs away from 400. Now, this dude puts on much more quality shows than we do. We really wing it. He really puts in the time and the work. So do me a favor, folks. If you're not watching Phable, if you're not subbed up to Phable, go ahead and do that. He's also, for the first time, hosting March Madnesses this year's on Tuesdays. So be sure you check those out too, man. He's had Castle and a bunch of folks on those, and his Friday shows. Everybody there is pretty awesome. Like I don't know most of them that well, but a lot of them I subscribe to and I watch them when I can. There's so much stuff to watch, folks. Um, Also, I don't have it loaded. Yes, I do. I have it loaded in here, and I'll talk about it later on in the show too. Before I forget, Talking Shop is back. Most of you here know, or if you're new here, I work for a, I don't want to say channel, but we're kind of like YouTube is mainly where people watch us. But I work for a place called The Experience, which is comic collectors, sellers, artists, stuff like that. Great shows during the week. We brought Talking Shop back. Talking Shop is usually either Miss Jen or Kyle, and bottom of the barrel, it's me sometimes. But they do interview shows, and we are going to be having. We had him on the FOC show, but Thomas Healy is going to be on Talking Shop. Now, Talking Shop isn't coming back to like every single week. I think we're doing this maybe every couple of weeks, And as soon as I get the go ahead from Kyle, and I think I'll be announcing it next show, for Ghost Machine fans, we have got something super awesome lined up. I'm so excited for it. We're gonna have this on the FOC show that's on Friday at 1 Eastern, 12 Central. But the guest for that time is, we're gonna also try to get them for a talking shop. But this talking shop is Thomas Healy. This Book of Nicks, I have got a copy of it, a PDF of it. I have not started reading it yet. I have looked through the art and stuff. This book looks awesome. So, all right, with all that out of the way, let me go ahead and bring on our guest. I got our guest, my co-host. Let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, the weird one, the trivia king himself, Mr. Eddie Von B.
Hail Hydra! Hey, how you doing, everybody? What's up, Jay?
What's going on, man? Good to hear you. Like I haven't seen you all week or something.
Yeah, at least in an hour or two.
So, man, how's your week been?
Well, it's been kind of weird. So mostly usual, but with the whole dog incident and everything, that was kind of interesting twist. But all's good. No complaints. She doesn't need to have plastic surgery, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's still, man, that's crazy, and I'm glad that she's okay.
I got to see her in person, and she has 2 black eyes alongside of that. So I'm like, it looks like somebody just decked her. It's what it looks like, but I don't mean to laugh because it's funny. It's just, I told her, I said, if it wasn't so fresh and new, we could really have fun with this. If we went to a store, I could yell at you, you want more or something?
Oh, wow.
But she got a laugh out of that, so that was good.
Okay, that's good. Well, as always, man, it's always great to have you here. I love when you're able to come on, and it's all just like I said, you're co-host now.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
So let me bring in the guy that's that's another third of the channel along with Jenna. He's here. Hoss, and he's wearing his Stitch. Come on, man, let me see it. Yeah. We've gotten really into hockey jerseys, but I'm a hockey and football jersey, but not like actual like people. Like there's a Daredevil one that we found that I really like. I really want to get super bad. Jenna just got a black one of the Shorzy jersey. So they're just comfortable. I have it cold in my room just so I could wear this. Your mic, you're either muted or.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got a fan blowing on me for the same reason. Also, the Daredevil jersey is no longer available.
I'll find one eventually.
Yeah,
I still want my DX football jersey from when I was like a teenager.
Well, this hockey jersey thing has turned into the place I used to design all of our merch. I'm going to go see if they've got a hockey jersey and figure out a design for us.
Hydrasylum hockey jersey, that'd be dope.
Yep.
The one thing going good for you, Jay, is that you could probably wear a kid size. I'm just joking.
I'm a very rotund kid though. I've put on, like I said, unfortunately for the small stature that I am, 10 pounds on me looks like 50 pounds. So I'm very rotund. Very rotund right now. I'm well rounded like Nick.
You're looking kind of hot with your hair all back and stuff.
I know.
I'm a little distracted, so you'll have to, forgive me.
Yeah.
How you doing, Sean?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I love your name, Sean.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Dude, embrace it.
Yes.
Love it.
It's going to be a shirt at some point. We're going to figure it out.
We got a hashtag not that bad shirt coming eventually.
We got a hashtag not that bad, hashtag but for now.
But for now, yeah.
Because that's how I ended all of my lives for a long time. So, but before we really dive into it, well, A, I'm going to open my snack, but B, I'm going to apologize to everybody now. I decided to get spicy shrimp last night, and it is defeating me today to the point of I've not really been able to do anything. I was supposed to get my hair cut, and that didn't happen because I can barely leave the house. So
It's a should have known better situation.
yep, it's like you got alive the next day, bro.
Yeah, maybe
Next
not
time.
eat extremely hot shrimp tacos.
Yeah, maybe just have stir fry.
Is that
Keep
your
it-
famous van food you were talking about?
The what?
Of a van or something that you guys buy out of, or a truck or something?
Oh, there's
Yeah, the Clutch City Cluckers.
yep.
The which city? Whose?
The
It's
Clutch City Cluckers. If you lived here, you'd get the reference. It's named after the Rockets. Because when the Rockets were big, one of their nicknames was they called themselves Clutch City.
That's just begging for a slip of the tongue with that name.
Well,
I had to practice
or
it.
is it?
I had to practice it. Trust me. So we're gonna get into the Daredevil talk, and like I already told Ed, Sean, and the folks out there, this is going to be spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went before the show. I actually was like, you know what? Let me refresh myself. Watch episode 1. I was almost late myself because I couldn't just watch the first episode. I had to watch episode 2 as well.
Well,
Like
of course.
I couldn't stop. Like
Yeah, it's like Reacher. You can't stop.
look, the week to week thing right now works for me. And that's only because usually what I do is like, okay, I'm not really into week to week stuff. Like I need to still watch Invincible, Reacher, a bunch of other stuff.
Ugh.
But this one, I think I see me watching it week to week. Like if they would have dropped this whole thing, I would have been in trouble because I would have watched the whole thing. Because I have so many questions that we will definitely dive into when we start talking about it. But
We'll have to talk sometime, Sean, because you're the only other person I know that besides me that's current with Reacher, and it's killing me because I got nobody to talk to.
That might have to be. I'll jump on a live without Jay one night while he's working. I'll be like, we're just gonna. All right, Ed, come on, let's just do a live. We'll do the Reacher talk.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
oh, we got a fourth. We got a fourth. Welcome in, Mr. Nope.
It's all this talk about haircuts.
I know, right? Not until the week before Superman for me.
I just need one because my hair doesn't really grow down. My hair grows out, so it looks like a big afro puff after a while.
But see, you get you
That's
little,
what mine does too.
little rubber bands, and you take those end pieces, fold them up, and tie them off, and then no more Friar talk.
And then buy yourself a big thong, and you can be a sumo wrestler.
Yes, sumo
There we
speedster right there, dude.
There we go.
Hey, Lorena. So yeah, we're gonna
Lorena.
get into the discussion here in a little bit, but there's a couple things I want to talk about beforehand. And the first thing is Nope actually brought this to my attention on the show. He asked me if I read this book, and I was like, nah. It's weird. It was in my list one week because the list changes every week for the books we get for a minute to skim it. And I thought I downloaded it because I remember seeing the cover, but Nope, hit the nail right on the head with this one. This book is called Jump Scare. And
What a very dark horse looking book.
it is. Let me tell you something about this book, man. This is a genre I don't think I've read. I haven't read, or maybe it hadn't been invented till now. But this is like superhero horror comedy. Like, real basic premise of it is girl on the cover. She has a very religious family. She's a huge horror movie fan, though.
You read this yet, Ed?
Oh, Ed,
No, I haven't seen this one yet.
I think you'll dig it, dude.
Can you send this one to me so I can read it?
I think I should be able to. No, because I couldn't find the download, so I had to do it by nefarious means.
Oh,
But I'm gonna end up buying this book, dude. Like I read it and oh, that's awesome, Lorena.
that is the dope.
Yeah, we got a family friend that does that too. He lets it grow like almost to his ass, and then cuts it off.
My niece does that. She's done that ever since she was like 16.
That's
Really cool.
That really is awesome, Lorena. See, that makes up for you getting the the books you sometimes get on Henri's show. Uh,
Wait, before you go further, I don't get to say this in person very much, but what's up, Nope?
What's going on, Eddie?
That's usually the first thing in every show. What's up, Nope? Hey, Eddie.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
A little bit.
yeah. So she comes from a very I don't want to say evangelical family, but very you need to go to church and stuff, and she just wants to watch horror movies. Well, what when we get her backstory, it's basically she's already become this character, and she's telling us the story that her family went to church, she went to a horror movie, she leaves, and she gets kind of accosted by these dudes, and she racks this guy, just boom, both of them, and starts running. And she's talking about how, in movies when you yell at people about not going down that dead end alley, she ends up doing that. She's like yelling at herself, knowing full well she's about to run into this alley. Well, this world, in this world, there also exists superheroes and these demons. And apparently the superheroes of this universe got rid of most of the demons, but there's some remnants. And she runs into one into this alley, which is also her name, Allie. Um, and this thing yells at her, and somehow I think she's possessed, but I'm not super clear on it. But it basically gives her powers. Like the page, man, the splash page that the show this happening is super dope. Like it's a really good page. And she has enhanced speed, enhanced strength. She can teleport, but much like the name Jump Scare, she can only teleport to places people aren't looking. So if nobody's looking in a spot, she can teleport there. So if they're all looking at a door, she can teleport behind them. So I thought that was cool. But the coolest power she has is she can manifest any weapon from any horror movie she's ever seen. And this girl has watched a lot of horror movies. And when the weapons come out, it displays like a ticket stub and it tells you the movie name and the weapon. Like, nope. This was, dude, I saw this. I thought I had downloaded it. I was going to read it later. But man, you nailed it with this one, dude. This book is so good.
Did you guys go over this on Minute to Skim It?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I thought
I meant to go back and watch it because
there's
I was
sometimes-
watching it that day, but I can't remember if it was that or if it was AJ making the joke about the mask later on that night. Because then the next day, that's why I bought it.
I mean,
Just on a whim.
It might have been, but we go through so many books sometimes, and we got so many books we don't actually show or do that sometimes I forget. I remember seeing this cover in my list, and I thought I had downloaded it because I was like, it's a Dark Horse book. I'll check it out. But dude, great call, man. Like anybody out there, if y'all haven't checked this book out, do so. I think this book has potential to be really, really badass. Just the power set alone was super cool. So yeah, Jump Scare from Dark Horse. It's already out. I think it came. Yeah, there it is. Scrolling on the bottom. This is a Cullen Bunn book too.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that first name in the lower left corner has me interested already.
And kind of like Tinian, there was a time there where I was like, you know what, Cullen Bunn can do no wrong. But then I started reading when he got to the point where he was doing it felt like 10 books in the same week, that some of them didn't feel as strong as other ones. So there was a little while there that I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna stay off of Cullen Bunn for just a bit. But reading this one is just like, okay, Cullen Bunn, this is the most interesting premise. Like I said, I don't think I've seen this done like this before. So super dope book. Like I said, Nefarious Means. I'm gonna check. Maybe I did download it, or I'll get with Dan because Dan usually keeps the books and could resend them. Because if not, I'm still gonna buy this book. Like I like having the digital copy so I can just read my computer when I'm working.
If you could accidentally send a copy to me, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, dude. No, good call, man. Really good call, folks.
Speaking of Colin Bunn,
Yeah,
has anybody read Harrow County?
Yeah, long time ago.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, but yeah, I just dove into it today. That's really good.
Okay. Well, you're in for a good ride.
Yeah,
Were you looking for
the second omnibus.
the second omnibus? Okay,
Yep.
that's what it was.
Yep. So I found the hardcover. It is on Amazon, but I might still wind up getting it just because it's like half off on there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. See, I'm weird when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I know that Invincible has compendiums,
mhm.
right? But those compendiums are soft cover books, and I'm always like, man, if I'm gonna get something like an omnibus or a compendium, I kind of want to have the hardcover because it sits better and it feels like it keeps better on the shelves. Because
Right.
I have Hack Slash omnibus somewhere, and it's a soft cover. It just the edges, like it's really small. It's just the edges look like they get messed up sitting on.
Since we're on the topic, do you know have they done an yeah, that word
Mhm.
on the Walking Dead Deluxe? Because I'm gonna go broke trying to rebuy them all in color when I have the whole set, but I can't read them anymore. So I was wondering, I haven't heard anything. I keep looking for like a trade paperback, but every time it comes up with the original ones, and I've already got those. I want the deluxe ones that are in color.
Yeah, no, there are no plans to present it according to what I'm finding. And
All right. Well, if you ever hear about it, let me know, will you?
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I haven't even told Jay. Did Jenna tell you what my boss found for y'all?
No.
Y'all are fixing to get a 12-book box set of The Watchmen.
Oh, let's go.
And it was $30.
Let's go, dude. Like I haven't read The Watchmen in so freaking long.
Yep, it's 12 book. It's a 12 graphic novel box set,
Oh,
and it was $30.
oh, I love your boss, man.
Yeah,
I've never met him, but I love him so
Yeah.
much.
yeah. He called me, he goes, "Hey man, would you be interested in this?" I said, "Sure." Just tell me how much I need to give you on Monday.
Oh,
He goes, "It's $27 at Ollie's." I'm like, "Okay, we're done."
yeah.
So there you go.
Have you guys seen the? I'm sure you have. This has been driving me nuts for a while, and it just popped into my head. So sorry, it happens. I'm old. But you guys have seen the '76 King Kong, right?
Oh God, that was.
You haven't? Is it Kurt Russell? No, it's the other guy. I can't never remember his name. But anyway, Nope has reminded me of somebody, and that's who he reminds me of. Is the main guy from the '76 King Kong, because it's Bridges
Jeff
from
Bridges?
Iron Man. Yeah, from Iron Man.
Oh, the
Because
dude.
back in the
Jeff Bridges?
'70s, he had the
The
big
dude,
hair.
man. The
Yeah,
dude
you look
vibes.
just like him in that King Kong movie. You look like you're gonna go save Jessica Lange at any moment.
Yeah, I thought about doing the Big Lebowski for Halloween this year.
Bro.
It'll work.
Yes. That'd
I'm not asking any more questions on that one.
be awesome. So the next one, like I don't have a lot of books this time because we're gonna get into the Daredevil stuff, but this one looks super interesting. The Slasher's Apprentice from Mad Cave.
Hmm.
Like,
Creepy yet epic cover.
Are these future comics?
yeah, this one's April 16th.
Okay.
But like I said, I saw this. I can't remember what I was because I was like, you know what, we're gonna be talking about Daredevil. I was gonna throw some Daredevil books up here, but to be completely honest, outside of part of Daredevil Yellow and stories where he was like like Civil War, where he's in there for a minute or two, and actually the book I got Sean for Christmas one year, the Kevin Smith Casada, was that the one I got you? Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't read a ton of Daredevil, so I didn't want to be like just throwing up Daredevil books and be like, hey, you should read this when I haven't read them myself. But I saw this and I was like, man, Mad Cave has some pretty good horror books. And I just saw this, thought it'd be cool to throw it up here. Like, it's on the.
What are some Mad Cave horror?
Oh, God. You put me on the spot. My mind's
Well,
gonna
no,
blank
don't worry about it if you can't take it. The way you said that, I thought maybe you knew a few.
out.
Because I don't know that I've had any of theirs.
There was one I thought where like a bunch of doctors went to a town and there was like this guy that was skinning them or something. I think Sean, do you remember that book? We read it for this week.
That was a Cullen Bunn book, and I remember because I really actually liked that story because one of them ends with the dude's face cut off and on display on the windshield of a car.
Was that a Mad Cave book? Do you remember?
I believe it was because I want to say that I'd used it as one of my favorite like horror comics you should read books on that short. I'm trying to get Mad Cave's website to load right now, and it's telling me to F off at the moment. What is that called? As soon as I get it, I will let y'all know for sure.
Y'all ain't talking about Red Room, are you?
A Legacy of Violence.
There it is. Yeah, a Legacy of. No, Red Room is not a Mad Cave book. I don't.
I wasn't sure.
No, Red. I forget what Red Room though is. Holy crap!
Yeah, Red Room's over the top even for me. I read one book and I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm going to keep going on this one. Especially if someone were to get a hold of it by accident. Ugh.
There was also a book called the Lamentation or Lamentation. It was I want to say it was one where this person gets invited to do this stage play, and you find out that everybody who does this play, they're stuck in the building forever or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a good read too. I want to finish that series.
I really want to read Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, Lorena. Hey, 9-panel grid. What's going on, E?
I thought you were already married, Jay.
What's up? Falling in Love on the Path to Hell?
Yeah, that's the engagement. You're already married.
Oh. My wife is freaking awesome, y'all. So I don't.
Well, I was just talking about in general. I didn't.
I
mean,
know.
she's sitting right here beside me. I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, so she hadn't hit you yet?
Not yet. You'd hear me. I got the mic right here. I mean,
that's true. That's true. You know what? I think. So I don't have it in here, but I just want to say, folks, if you check the description of this video, I am pretty sure I have a link to 9-panel grid. So be sure you check 9-panel grid out. He does this awesome. Let me go ahead and pop back up here. But that was Slasher's Apprentice. That looks cool. He does his reviews. He did this really awesome thing in this last review I saw. So he had the cover up here, and once he started talking about the book would he would transition it down here and make it smaller. So by the end of the review, all the books he's talking about, he has all the covers in front of him. I told him, I said, dude, I like that. I want to borrow that from him for a review one time. I just thought the aesthetic was really, really good looking.
On YouTube, everything gets borrowed.
That's true. But I thought, Eric, you did a fantastic job with that video, man. Just throwing that out there. All right, folks. I've talked about the two little books that I wanted to talk about. One's already out. One's coming out. One more time with this, and I'm going to keep doing this regardless of what he says.
It's empty.
It doesn't matter if it's empty.
Although, we were putting some of our Christmas stuff away. Finally, they're going to start working, but I want to keep it out of the dust. And what I thought were fake presents under the tree were comics that people had sent me that I didn't realize. So I'm going to attempt an unboxing video sometime in the near future because I haven't opened them. They're still wrapped. And I'm like, that might be a cool thing to try to do.
Oh, yeah.
So I might give that a whirl, but I have no clue what I'm doing. But we'll see what happens.
Dude, most of us don't, man. Like I said, we have a fun show here. It's never really all that serious, but again, y'all want to see a put together show? You really got to watch Phable One Collection Down. Like the stuff that he does over there, I look at that and I'm like, man, he makes us look like we just started sometimes. But like I said, this is just a fun show where friends hang out. We talk about comics, and we're gonna talk about Daredevil Born Again, y'all. And let me just say this. I said this the day that I watched it. And speaking of Phable, Phable,
You must have said his name 3 times.
His ears were burning.
yeah, yes. I talked about you at the beginning of the show, boss. That you're doing March Madness and your Friday show. And I want to say, I actually remember to put your link here. I drop a lot of links, folks, if you're new here or watching on the rewind, because I want to support everyone in this comic community. Like, you wait till Ed actually starts putting stuff up on his channel. You wait till he starts putting stuff up on his channel, man. I'm gonna share the hell out of it.
Yeah, there's no pressure there. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah. All the pressure.
Bring it. I
Hey
love
man,
pressure.
one of these days, Phable. Any of y'all ever want to come on? You let me know. I got no problem at all. I see you on Robbie's all the time, and you know you guys are all awesome. You come hang out with my friends. If you are somebody that your first thought was, I don't want to watch this new Daredevil series because they're going to Disneyfy it. It's going to be blah blah blah, like all this. Like I heard a lot of crap about this when they announced it. You know, everybody was afraid. There was a one version of it where it was going to be more the lawyer stuff than anything. It's going to be barely any kind of violence, any kind of Daredevil antics. And then they decided to retool the show. And when they retooled the show, it's very strange. They replaced the actress that played Vanessa uh, in this iteration. Like they had all these other people, and they replaced the actress. And I think in the original one, I can't remember if Karen and Foggy were going to be there or if it was just going to be Foggy or neither one of them. I can't remember. But when they retooled it, they actually went back and got the original actress for Vanessa to come back too. When I watched this show, y'all, it was almost like they didn't miss a beat, except it felt there was a little more to it. And what I mean by that is in the Netflix one, there wasn't a whole lot of acrobatics from Matt. And the fact that that kind of bothers people in this show right now is weird to me because it's Daredevil and he's kind of acrobatic. But if you were afraid of watching this, man, I'm telling you, this show is like the Netflix show turned up just a bit. And it's part of the bigger Marvel universe. Now, granted, it still feels like we're doing that thing with Marvel where it's, oh, it's all connected, but we don't outright call events in the Marvel universe what they are. Like, I don't know how many shows I watched where they called the Battle for New York like the event or something strange, or when they talked about a character, it was more of a description of the character, not the character's name. So there's still a little bit of that in there, but these first two episodes blew me away. They blew me away. I was before the show. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rewatch them. Yeah, I ended up watching both of them. I couldn't help myself. So we're gonna get into spoilers and stuff. But what I want to go around and ask everybody their initial thoughts, because for me, I got a big thing about the first 20 minutes of this episode that feels like the biggest bait and switch ever that I want to talk about. But I want to ask y'all. And we'll start with Sean first, and we'll go Sean. Nope, Eddie. How'd you feel about this, man?
Hold on. Okay. So do we want to talk about that first 20 minutes? Or do we want to go into more detail about that? Because you remember, you got a text from me right after I started watching it. And the first thing I said was, holy crap, they start with a big fight between Daredevil and Bullseye. And I do mean a big, epic fight. Probably and I told Jay, since his fight with Nobu, that was the best one-on-one fight that he's had in the series since. And the fight with Nobu was season 1, for anybody who doesn't remember, on Netflix. It was a big fight. Um, it was exactly what I was hoping it would be. It was, you came in, like you said, you came in, it felt like everything had never ended since season 3. The only thing, hopefully, that they'll tell you is how much time has passed since, I guess, season 3 to what they were doing, so that we can understand maybe a little bit more Bullseye's motives, or it could be soon after what they did to Bullseye as well. But they made it sound like it was a year and a half based on some of the stuff, especially with I'll give one spoiler here. Kingpin and his wife are not copacetic as this series starts. Um, they're not divorced or anything, but at the same time, they are not thrilled with each other. And Vanessa's is because he went away for a year, 6 to 9 months, whatever it was. But anyways, I digress. The little bit of CGI that they did use, that I agree with Jay. That is a criticism that I have for anybody who watches that first 20 minutes and you see him slinging around up onto the rooftop. That was one of the complaints. Like, come on, Marvel, we know you can do better than that. We've seen better than that. So hopefully that improves as the show goes on, because Daredevil, and yeah, the acrobatics thing, Daredevil is an acrobat. That's what he does. He's a lot like Spider-Man. He's just blind. So,
And I just want to say real quick, Dan the Man Wickline is watching right now. So, Dan, what's going on, boss?
You're moving up in the world, Hydra.
Well, they gave him marital problems. I wouldn't necessarily call it cucked.
but overall, it was really good. The first episode really brings you in, and then I think the second episode is very much it's a huge juxtaposition as to what episode 1 was, in my opinion. There was not very much action until like the very end of that episode. But overall, I loved it. I think it was great. I'm not happy about Foggy at all. I love that guy. I love Foggy as a character. So another spoiler, to lose him in that first 20 minutes kind of killed me. So I felt like you literally within the first 20 minutes, you feel every emotion that you could possibly feel. Excited, angry, sad, like all of it is right there within that first 20 minutes. So like kudos to Marvel for listening to Charlie Cox and letting them do it in the style of the show that it was. And now we're going to go to Nope.
No, I thought it was great. I agree. It felt just like a continuation, just like didn't even skip a beat, to where first time you see him in the suit, you seen goosebumps or felt goosebumps, and then, naturally Foggy. So, but the CGI was a little bit wonky right there in the bar, like from the bar's view. The acrobatics through the, buildings, I didn't really catch that part too much. But right there, whenever they were like through the door and everything just looked too CGI, but whatever. It was like 5 minutes, so who cares? The rest of it was great. But the dialogue is just leaps and bounds of, naturally from anything Disney Plus has put out so far. But, that's to be expected since they were actually keeping with all the Netflix stuff. So, because that first show was, good grief, set up everything and basically laid a blueprint of what they probably should do with all their future Disney Plus stuff. So, and this should prove it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Out of the stuff that I have watched, I agree with Nope that the character dialogue between one another, there's a chemistry there that you don't see that much on the other shows. It feels like that, at least that I have seen so far.
And right before we get to you, I want to address this, because I think for the few minutes that they used him, it was okay. But if they plan on using Bullseye later on, I am kind of hoping that he gets a more comic accurate costume.
Yeah.
Like, I can agree with you on that. But if this was just, he was just there for that one part, I'm kind of okay with it, just dressed in dark clothes. Yeah, I'd want him in a more not maybe not a comic accurate costume, just because the bullseye in the middle and the white suit's kind of goofy looking. But I get Ross, I do get what you're saying though.
Yeah. What I'm curious about, if anybody else picked up on it, is are they going to have him? Because I think one of the comic versions, if I remember right, his bones are infused a little bit with adamantium, which would explain why he survived the fall from the rooftop. That was one thing I've read, that he's like that in the comics. So I'm wondering if that's going to be explained as to what was he tossed off of, like 3 or 4 stories.
Yeah.
So, and then he woke up. So,
yeah, you're right.
Touche, Dan. Touche.
All right, Eddie, give me your thoughts, boss.
Loved it. I like the darker tone. I think this is a more fitting recipe that I hope they keep following on Disney Plus. It gave me a Werewolf by Night vibe, and that's why I loved that so much. But I like how they tone the comedy down a little bit, because Marvel's getting a bit too janky with comedy lately. This was a lot more serious, a lot more dark, and there is so much symbolism going on. The cinematography and the dialogue, like Nope was talking about with the dialogue, if you're really paying attention, it really gets into some deep stuff. Especially when Daredevil and Fisk are talking in the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like one is defining their definition of what a hero and what a villain is, and the other one is doing the exact same opposite, where he basically says, if you put the white back on, I'm coming for you. And then Fisk says, and if you become a vigilante and I'm mayor, I'm coming for you. That was an epic conversation.
Yes.
And if you were paying attention, oh my gosh, the symbolism and stuff was just all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And it was like 2 boxers feeling each other out before they swing a punch. I loved that scene. That was one of my favorite scenes. That and the fight at the beginning you guys were talking about. What grabbed my heart about that the most was him hearing Foggy's heart beating and hearing her crying while he's trying to fight this guy. And then right at the end, when the heart stops and he chucks him off the roof, and then he drops his helmet or his mask, whatever you want to call it, and you see a horn's gone.
Mm-hmm.
The symbolism that a piece of him was just lost when his best friend died.
Yep.
And then the year later, when she comes back for the trial, she brings the horn back, like giving him that piece back. Dude, he gave me the chills. I was like, this is phenomenal, the way they're putting this together. And if they stay on this path, they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they stay on this path going forward.
Yeah, and here I was when I was watching that opening scene. First of all, it's the bait and switch for me that really got me, because when you open up, they're going through Hell's Kitchen on the street, and it's Foggy, Karen, and Matt. I was like, okay. And then they go to Josie's bar. Not only do they go to Josie's bar, they got the actress that played Josie in the net. Like, you got that small of a character, which I don't think Josie was that small of a character in the Netflix show, but she wasn't like main supporting cast. But you did that. You had me feeling, okay, this is going to be just like the Netflix show. And then you set that trap. They set that trap. And I know another thing that people saw bringing up and I want to know what cognium is now, Dan. I want to look that up. And yeah,
It's like
the way,
nanotechnology.
oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. And the way that he just had, like, some of it looked like knives, others just looked like slivers of metal just around his waist, and he was just
Throwing.
And there are some people like, how did he get like 9 knives in him and he's fine? And I'm like, you remember that the suit when Melvin Potter, Gladiator, from the Netflix series made him that suit, it was made out of the same stuff that he grabbed from Fisk, which was like a highly durable kind of fabric or whatever the hell it was, where he's like, in the black parts are the more armored parts and the red parts or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's getting like little sticks but I don't think those knives are like penetrating all the way through the suit.
Yeah, if you really look at the suit, you can see where it was beefed up, especially in the chest, where he had like when he's crying there at the end of the fight scene. There's like 4 knife like handles sticking out, so you can see it. But the equally amazing part too was just how he was able to either flick the knives right back at Bullseye, or he'd hit him with the club right in the face when he'd throw it. And it was nice that they added that, because that was always something you'd see in the comics, but he didn't use it much on the Netflix series show, where he'd throw the club and catch it.
Yeah,
so that was one element that I was glad to see that they brought in with him. So, but I think a lot of it, the acrobatics that we're seeing now, if we remember, he was still kind of discovering Daredevil and stuff throughout the Netflix series in 3 seasons. So he didn't have, what was it, until maybe season 3 and in Defenders, where he even had the sticks with the cable in them. So I think that's some of it.
You know, when they were fighting up the stairs, there was one scene when Daredevil turns sideways with light behind him, and you can see all the knives sticking out of him.
Yeah.
At that one little instant, I gave a little chuckle, because it reminded me of Wolverine and Wolverine and Deadpool, and I kept waiting for Deadpool to come out and say, "Wait a minute, you look ridiculous. Let's get," because he looked like a freaking porcupine.
You know, to me, the best part about Daredevil being in the MCU now is I want a special presentation of Team Red. And Team Red happened in like one issue of, I think, Deadpool Suicide Kings, where it was a Daredevil, Deadpool, and Spider-Man book, where the 3 of them teamed up. That's Team Red. And I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited to see that. I hope that's something that ends up happening. I need to see those 3 characters on screen.
Yeah.
But I also got to say, I think the coolest, I don't think it was a kill, but I think the coldest knockout that happened during that scene is after they've come through to the second part of the bar, and Bullseye knocks the one girl out with the pool ball, and then he grabs the other one and just randomly throws it. And then it goes back to the action here, but then you see this ball bouncing off of things and just clocks that one girl standing by the door, and she's just gloop. I was like, that's the coldest. I don't know if he killed her, but if he knocked her out, that was the coldest knock, because it was like no look knockout.
Yeah.
I love that about that character. Just the precision. Like when we first see him kill the Flash, I knew who it was. I knew who it was the minute I saw that paperclip and that fly. I was like, dude, that's going to be Bullseye.
Yep.
That was a nice shot, by the way. Mr. Miyagi would have been proud.
Oh yeah,
Yogi very proud.
100%. And a nice little trivia fact for folks that do this. So hold on just a second, because my dog's getting wild. I got to go stop him. Hold on.
Dog's Gone Wild. I think I saw that online somewhere.
But yeah, I mean, but as crazy as that first 20 minutes was, then they really slow it down, and you get introduced to White Tiger, if we remember, within that first little bit too. And that's a character I actually know nothing about. Suit looks cool. I will definitely say that.
I know more about his was it granddaughter or whatever, Ava. I know more about her as White Tiger than I know him. But yeah, that was pretty cool, seeing that little scene with him in the suit on the security camera, and then him accidentally killing a cop. That was an interesting twist. But yeah, that paperclip, it was amazing.
I love that scene in the Affleck Daredevil.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, Dan. I forgot about that.
What the thing I was going to say was there's a nope. I had it, but I lost it. I got distracted. I had a thought in my head.
I got one, but
yeah, go ahead.
Can we give props to D'Onofrio?
Oh yeah, 100%
for what he was already great as Kingpin throughout the first 3 seasons and when he was showing up, but to see him find some of these new nuances with the character that he's doing with everything here in this first couple of episodes, the guy continues to blow me away. Like, is one of just, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor, just period, no matter what he does. But as a villain, a comic book villain on screen, I mean, I got to give him in at least in like the top 2, top 3, because you also got to throw in William Dafoe as the Goblin, and whatnot. So, but the fact that he can make you feel empathy for him is probably one of the most amazing things. Like, I genuinely feel for the character in some ways because of what he goes through, and yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep repeating myself, but for what D'Onofrio brings, him and Charlie Cox, obviously, like, they're both phenomenal, and it works. So, and I'm trying to think of a a better, and let's just say the last 10, 15 years. Can you think of a better like hero and villain chemistry on
Superman
screen?
and Lex.
Yeah,
What's up?
Superman and Lex from Lois. Cuddly.
Yeah. Would you consider that better, or would you put them like right there with each other? Because
I can't say it's better because we didn't, and that's exactly that's the other thing I was going to bring up. Hold on.
Yeah.
The actor, I found this out. Camar de los Reyes, who played White Tiger, he actually passed away in what?
I couldn't agree with you more, Dan. I thought the same thing.
Oh, that's true.
It was like the Batman voice in reverse.
Well, yeah, Batman sounds like he's gargling on marbles.
Well, they used computerized crap on that. They should have left that alone. But the actor that played White Tiger actually passed in 2023.
That sucks.
Wait a minute, the one that was in the show?
Yeah.
So they've been filming it this long?
So they started with one thing, and then it got scrapped. And then we had the writer's strike. No, not writer's strike.
Yeah, that was part of it. And then last August is when Charlie really, it was last summer sometime, Charlie really convinced him to go back to the other direction. If I remember right.
Well, that kind of explains why they made it a point to show that girl's picture on the wall then, because she's probably going to end up being White Tiger.
Probably.
Now, whether it be Ava or the one in between, I can never remember the one in between. Because first it's like his niece does it. I can't remember her name. Then it's like his granddaughter, who's Ava, who is the one that I know the most of.
See,
I can't remember what the other one is. I can't remember her name, but there was one in between.
Yeah, but so I found that out because I'm the guy that when I like a show, I like to research and look up the trivia. Then I found out he passed away because at the beginning of it's episode 2, there's an in memory of for him at the beginning of the episode. So the actual fun trivia I was going to talk about was okay. His sister was the in between one.
There you go.
Okay. Was the is it McDuffie? Is that her name? Matt's new partner?
Yeah, I think it's
either
McDuffie
or
something like that.
So when I first saw her, I was like, wow, she looks so familiar. That's because she was in the original Broadway cast for the Book of Mormon. That I have bootlegged. I mean, I have it somewhere, somehow. Because they didn't record it. They didn't record it, so it was on YouTube. I watched it. But I thought that was kind of funny. But it's one of those things where I was like staring. I was like, man, I know her from. So I'd never seen her in any other film or anything, but I remember her from that. I thought that was another interesting thing that they did. You know, they skipped that year. So something happened between the time they were in the bar with he and Karen are talking to each other. A lot of sexual tension in that conversation.
Yeah.
And Foggy's kind of striking out with McDuffie. Kirsten, that's the first name. Kirsten. And I want to know how it went from they knew of her to the next thing you know, they're affirmed together. They're business partners and they're friends.
Some of that I bet has to do with the fact that they came together because of Foggy. I'm sure that's some of it.
Could be.
What I want to try and figure out, because there's been one thing with Vanessa since she was introduced. There is a darkness about her
Oh yeah.
that hasn't really been explored. But you see it like right when they come in the beginning, the way she's respected in that meeting. If anybody remembers when she basically learns in season 2 or 3 of what he actually does, and she actually looks at him and tells him to go ahead and kill the guy or whatever it is. After there is a darkness about her that I hope they explore.
Yeah.
And so, because her character is almost underutilized, and I'm glad they got her back because it seems like Vanessa is complex, and hopefully they dive into that more with these therapy sessions.
Did you notice that she was wearing all white, like the Kingpin always did too? I noticed that immediately when she was at the head of the table. I was like, yeah, she's dressed just like.
You know my theory? My theory is she hired Dex to kill Foggy. That's a theory I have. There's one of two ways with this for me. Either she did that, Kingpin's lying, or Foggy's not actually dead. And it was one of those. Have you ever seen the episode? There's an SVU episode where they kill off Alex, I think is the DA's name. They kill her off and don't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like hidden for years.
It did the same thing in Criminal Minds too with
or they just killed off
Princess.
Foggy and I'm just reaching.
There was actually an interview that was released that I saw a couple days ago because I was wondering the same thing about Foggy. And one of the producers or directors of the show said something that one of his favorite parts is watching. I can't remember the girl's name. What's the girl's name? Foggy's friend there at the beginning. The three of them. I can't remember her name.
Deborah Ann Wool.
Well, anyway, watching her and Foggy grow as a character in season 2, he slipped and said, watching them grow in season 2, and he said Foggy's name. So people are wondering, did he do that on purpose? Or was it a Tom Holland, oops, I probably shouldn't have said that moment? Because that's out there, and a lot of people have been talking about that. So there's a growing conspiracy that Foggy's not really dead.
It could come back to flashback, though.
Yeah, he brought back to life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something else I wanted to talk about, because I said earlier about them doing the thing where MCU's connected, but they never call characters by name. I was telling Sean earlier, I was like, you know what I would love to see? We had Matt Murdock in No Way Home. What if somehow they can convince Sony, just even for a minute, to let Spider-Man show up? Because the reason I say this is they mention a guy who dresses like a spider. Now, some people are like, yeah, but didn't you just say something about Marvel does that all the time? Yes, but they also didn't call Frank or Punisher by name. They said guy who a gun-toting lunatic who wears a skull on his chest. And Punisher is part of this. So I think eventually I want to, because I got so burned by the Crisis crossover when they brought in Ezra Miller's Flash. Spoiler alert. But they didn't do the same for Grant Gustin's Flash.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, y'all could do something really special here. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the biggest thing they ever did was the second or third episode. Samuel L. Jackson is a cameo in it. This is something where you could be like, dude, we're really going to show people. They're talking about him. And to me, Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain. But my bias is because in the cartoons, that's how it was.
Yeah.
I really want them to do something like that. He doesn't have to be a part of the story. Just show a clip of him, even if it's just a clip. Yeah, I know. Without Sony, I know.
Before I forget, you reminded me of something, Jay, when you were talking about somebody was on a Broadway play.
What's up, Stu?
Did you notice that when Kingpin was doing his spiel about we don't need vigilantes with skulls and spiders on them, that on the billboard for Broadway or whatever. It was the Captain America musical was being advertised, and the shield was there and everything. I was like, "Well, there's a nice little Easter egg," because I noticed that because he brought up Spider-Man, Daredevil, or Punisher, and Captain
Daredevil.
America
Yeah.
right there at the same time.
Anybody
talked
notice what Dan said?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. I wish Sony would like.
Not that, the one right below it about the conspiracy about their firm address is 468 and Daredevil 468 is about.
Oh,
I missed that too. Nice.
Here I was.
Yeah, that was something I honestly did not know. Now
Here I was looking into weird stuff like you know at the beginning when he drops his helmet off, they use that for like one of the trailers. You notice the way the horn's broken off? It's like a silver D.
Yep.
I noticed weird things like that while I was watching.
I love the opening that they did with it too. Like the opening of the show is great.
It feels like a good mixture of kind of the Netflix theme, but done in a way to where it's different. And the fact you have the symbolism there, like Ed was talking about symbolism. You have the scales of justice crumbling.
Yep.
You have all this stuff crumbling, and then it reforms into Daredevil as a statue, which I want that statue. I think somebody said that on another show I was watching, and I totally agree with that. I want that as a statue, and I want the stone version of that statue.
Yeah.
Stu's link, by the way, big shout out Dr. Doom's fan club. That's our buddy Stu. His link is going to be in the description of this video too. That's another guy I watch. He's not only on with all the other folks that I talk about. He and 9 Panel Grid have a show called Ink and Insights that they flip flop on whose channel it's hosted on. Really cool. I get to catch it every once in a while, but
I want to say, Phable, I want to say that they asked about it, and I don't think She-Hulk is planned to show up in the series. But
look, let me tell you something about She-Hulk, y'all. She-Hulk got a lot of hate. I liked it. I didn't think it was like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I don't think it was terrible. Yeah, there were things that were kind of weird, but I liked She-Hulk, and I wouldn't mind having her show up.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know. I want to say that they have asked people about it. I don't think she's supposed to show up.
I just wish they had more budget for CGI, because that was the biggest problem with She-Hulk was the CGI stuff. Even when Hulk showed up, Hulk looked really weird. And then Hulk's son at the end looked really cartoony. But
yeah,
CGI is not cheap.
True.
The one thing that they're doing well that they did with the Netflix series is there's a lot of interlocking small story elements that I think are going to come to a head later in the series, like the therapy sessions with Fisk and his wife, and he's dating the therapist and stuff like all this is going to be nice small things that they're going to do big things with down the road. And that's one thing that the writers have always done consistently with that Netflix series. And it seems like whoever they've got writing this is doing the same thing.
You're going back to Fisk and Vanessa for just a second. You know that part when Fisk tells her, "I know about Adam," and she's like, "Please don't kill him." In the next episode, when he's sitting at the desk, they do that close up of his knuckles.
I
was like,
I noticed that.
My theory is, he beat that dude to death.
Yeah, R.I.P. Alex.
Yeah, we hadn't even met the guy yet, and he's already gone.
Or Adam. What was it?
Adam.
Okay.
Adam. Still though, I thought like they zoomed it. I was like, wait a second, when did he get those? We hadn't seen him fight anybody.
Yeah.
And I guess I need to watch Echo, if nothing else, to see what happens to him, because he gets shot in the face. So I'm like,
Right in
okay,
the face.
yeah. I guess I need to watch it to see how they did that, how he came back from that.
Yeah, they don't really go into it.
No?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
It's kind of left to happen in the background kind of thing. Or he did pop up maybe later. I have to rewatch that too.
Yeah.
See,
The ending's real hairy on that.
Yeah, I heard the ending was kind of like not exactly stuck the landing, but the show overall was pretty good.
Yeah, I was real excited about the whole show, and then right there at the end, it just got wonky.
Mm-hmm. Although I did like K.E.V.I.N as the AI. That was good.
Oh, he gets shot in the Hawkeye series.
Wow, that's how. Okay.
Okay. Oh, it's just the way he kept
Oh,
talking
that's
about
right.
Echo. The way he was talking about, they didn't say Echo's name, but when they're in the diner and he
That's
asked Matt if he's had children, he's like, "Well, I tried to mentor someone, but okay." So
Yeah,
that's where I
right. He
got
gets shot at the end of Hawkeye, and then he pops back up at the end of Echo. That's right.
Daredevil
I remember.
mentions that too. Didn't she slap you in the head or get you in the head or something? He
Yeah.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Oh, okay. So Echo does shoot him in the face. Oh, Echo is in the Hawkeye
In
suit.
Hawkeye, yes.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
okay.
I hadn't watched. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I live right down the street from a naval base.
Have you ever seen Red Dawn?
Airport
There,
right
Lorena?
across the road.
Watch out.
Red Dawn. So we got that. No, Lorena, you're good. Like we don't go off subject all the time, man. There's no structure here. You know that.
That is our topic. Is off topic.
Off topic. So the scene, like, I didn't ugly cry, man, but I got choked up quite a few times in the first episode. Not only Foggy dying and Karen, like, just Karen, like Deborah Ann Woll is such a fantastic actress, and feel like, ugh. Good, Dan, because I need you to correct me and help me out sometimes.
Her reaction when Bullseye hits the ground to hoping that's not Matt, like
Right.
just that took something. Like
What-
you're
what-
already going emotionally crazy, and for her to be able to hear that thud and literally just the jump scare from her and to turn, I mean, that whole thing, you're just like, holy crap, because you could feel that moment as if you were actually there in person watching it.
Yep. The part that gave me the feels was when the newly retired guy walked out on the roof and seen that Matt was Daredevil, and Matt didn't even care, and he was crying and threw the hat. That's what got me, because he was crying about his literally listening to his best friend's heart beat its last thunk.
Mhm.
That got me.
I think the way that they showed his hearing at the beginning when they're in the bar and Foggy goes outside.
With
I
the
saw another
flashlight.
channel that was doing a review. They did a review on it and they talked about it. I don't know about camera stuff. All I know is the way they showed it, where it like goes from like widescreen or whatever. I thought that was a cool little thing they did to show he could hear what was going on outside with Foggy. I think it is weird how the hearing works sometimes because it feels like almost like Superman's hearing as long as he focuses on what he wants to hear. Because I don't know where, unless he was at the cops building and I missed it, even though I watched it twice. The fact that in the second episode he hears the cops talking to each other on the phone, I couldn't remember where he was when he heard that.
You talk about when they found the guy?
No, when the cops are calling each other. Like there's a
About the
part where
witness?
the cops, yeah, the
Yeah,
cops are calling
I think
each other.
he's standing like across the street underneath some scaffolding, some like
Yeah.
construction scaffolding,
Mhm.
so he can hear into the building and possibly up the stairs.
That you guys somehow watching it twice, I just
The
missed that part.
Yeah, because they did change that up a little bit from the Netflix
Hmm.
as far as clarifying how far it reached.
Yeah,
You know, I don't think
I
they
don't-
really went into that much detail.
I don't
we
know
talk,
if it was
we
on
talk about with his hearing.
Yes,
There was, if you watch, I think season 2 or 3, you might have been 3, but there's one season where they really kind of show what his hearing is like, because he'll stand on top of a building and listen, and he'll hear radio calls from across the city, and then he'll go. So he's shown it before.
I meant to rewatch the whole series before watching it, but
same. But I was too excited to do
3
that.
seasons.
Man. Yeah, I was too excited to do that.
What I love though is,
and how do you not watch the rest of them along with that too?
Yeah,
you know,
Charlie's nuances to everything he does. Like, you could believe that Charlie is genuinely blind trying to play this character. It still amazes me, especially how he's able to actually just stare at you so blankly.
Well, when he's cooking too.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there cooking and he's just
Yep.
staring off. And it's like, wow, it wouldn't be weird if you were blind. You wouldn't need to look at what you're doing.
Right. But it's like he does that. Of course, when he hears something, how he twitches his head and stuff like, he gets these things, and it's like, the only way I could think of somebody trying to learn how to do that stuff, A, is just you're a really good actor. B, did you just walk around blindfolded for a while? And you just got your reactions based off that?
I'm going to really show my age here, but Little House on the Prairie, when Mary went blind.
Yeah.
The rest of those seasons, she did a fantastic job of doing that same thing, of not making eye contact, just kind of staring around. And she was perfect. But yeah, he does a really good job too. You'd never know he wasn't really.
Yep. 100%.
Was it a hold on? Was it a horse and carriage accident? Because now I'm trying to remember how she went blind.
Mary, it was a disease.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She had a disease that later on down the road, it was some kind of fever. I don't remember which one. But later on down the road, yeah, she had to go to get glasses. And then when she started getting headaches, they took her into the Mankato, and the doctor found out that the fever he thought at first she was going to be fine, but then they mentioned to the doctor that she had this fever, and I don't remember what fever it was. And he's like, oh no. And then he ran an extra test, and that's when he found out she was going blind. And I can't believe we went from Daredevil to Little House on the Prairie. I apologize.
No, that's awesome. What a segue. What a segue. Oh, we lost.
To kind of touch a little more on what Dan had said, Charlie has admitted that he's gotten so good, or he got so into Daredevil, that some of his reactions to things and screen readings for other stuff have cost him.
Yeah. Because
he's still acting like he's blind in such a way. So, and it's crazy to think that somebody can dive and get into that it takes over in such a way like that, even just on your natural, in normal life when you're just reading a screenplay.
Yeah, like the first thing I remember seeing Charlie Cox the first time in Stardust. I really liked him in that. And then somebody reminded me, I can't remember who it was. Somebody reminded me that he was also on Boardwalk Empire for a little while. That show was crazy. I love that show. That show was great.
Yeah, he was kind of Daredevil-ish in Boardwalk Empire because he was essentially Nucky Thompson's, errand boy.
Yeah.
Going around beating the shit out of people.
And that's something that I noticed, like, he feels a little more fine-tuned in his fighting. Like, Nick reminded me, he did remind me, thank you. See, man, I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what happens yesterday. I barely remember what happened when I watched these 2 episodes today. Just like I lost what I was saying when I answered that question.
Well, all right, then.
Charlie Cox has gotten more refined in
the fighting. Like in Daredevil, the Netflix one, he was always more of a brawler. Like a boxer brawler type.
Yep.
In this one, it feels like, I don't know how they explain the years. Like, if this show is supposed to pick up kind of like after the first one ended, timeline wise, or is it, well, Daredevil season 3 ended 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly when it ended, but let's just say 2017 for argument's sake. Is it? What is that? Oh my goodness, 7, 8 years later that this series picks up.
Yeah. The one thing we can see timeline wise, it clearly takes place after the events of Hawkeye and Echo as
Okay.
well. So, but I agree. How many years technically later in their universe is it? Is a really good question. Oh,
Okay, it's supposed to be 5 years. Okay, so I'm wondering if they went through the blip, if they went through the snap too, if they're even going to address that. And then another year after Foggy's death. Okay.
okay.
Oh, let me go ahead and bring. We got another surprise person here, y'all. The haunted one himself.
What's going down, everybody? How you guys doing tonight?
What's up, brother?
Man,
I've been hanging out with the wife. She gave me to go ahead to come and join you guys. So I haven't been able to hear what you guys have been talking about, but I thought I might as well jump in and kind of join the conversation, y'all.
Spoilers, brother. So don't be afraid to speak what you want to talk about. We're spoiling shit.
it's all about Daredevil.
Yep, we're spoiling it. So
What you said, Jay, knowing Kevin Feige, that 5 years is probably on purpose. And
Yeah.
it probably does have something to do with the
yeah,
snap.
that's true.
That does make sense.
What up, Mr. Nope, Sean,
What's up,
Eddie
dude?
Von B, Jay Burns?
What's
up, Triple B?
Man, I love me some margarita in this show, dude. Freaking the love interest, dude. Man, she's from the Invisible. She's from Adventureland, dude. I don't know if you guys remember that movie back in the day, man. You guys were talking.
We segue.
Dan, you are not wrong.
We segue into Little House on the Prairie for a second, but
We
it
need to just get
makes
Dan
something.
on here with us as much as he's talking.
Yeah, just give Dan the link and get him on here.
I'd love to have Dan. If Dan told me, "Hey, I want to come on," absolutely, Dan. You know you're more than welcome. Just like everybody else, you're always more than welcome. Just let me know.
We'll be
But
like the Brady
so
Bunch soon.
we've been yeah. I think I can have up to 10 people.
Yeah, I was glad to get out of Bobby's position, so thank you, Triple B. I didn't like it.
So Triple B, let me ask you. We've been talking about spoilers and just overall thoughts. We're kind of skipping back and forth between the episodes. So let me ask you this. You watched both of them, right?
Yes, sir.
What were your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts was, I mean, it was a lot of. Where was the action? I mean, they had a lot of action at the beginning of the very first episode, and then kind of just like went into drama, and then that action at the end of the second episode is really where it hit. But overall, I mean, I thought it was good. I think we needed to hear, that story. We need to know what's going on. Like give us that story. Let us, like hook us in. And that's what they did. We don't want this nothing but a bunch of action, but I guarantee they're probably going to throw a bunch of good ass fight scenes, a good action going forward. But they gave us a good, here's a little bit of what you're going to get. Okay, now here's, with some action. Now here's a little bit of the story, and where we're going to go with it. And then bam, like we need to let, Matt Murdock go ahead and turn back into Daredevil and need to put that costume back on and become the vigilante is what they need to do. So I think they did a great job with the first two episodes, and I'm glad that they dropped them both on the same night because it worked out perfect. It felt like a little short movie, and let's move forward, dude. I'm freaking jacked, dude. I can't wait for Tuesday nights again, dude.
Yeah.
And let me go ahead. I'm going to drop. I know Triple B's link is probably in the description, but I'm going to drop Triple B's link. Y'all make sure that y'all go and watch. He did a video on this. He dropped his thoughts. Really good video, by the way, boss. I got to watch it the other day.
Thank you. I mean, it was it kind of felt like alive. I just I turned on the camera and I was just like, I'm just gonna, should I talk about this? And I just went and I just did what I did, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I kind of liked what I did. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there because like I don't want to total recap, the show, give like, line by line, everything that happened. It's kind of like give you my thoughts, what I remembered of it, what was enjoyable about it. I'm definitely went into spoilers for sure about it. And then that, I was super excited about it. I didn't really think I was going to be so excited about this show, but like I'm going to watch it, and it blew my mind. I was like, hell yeah, dude. This is Marvel back? I think they're back, man.
Yeah. If anything was going to make me want to get really into Marvel again, it was going to be this. Because if this had failed, I don't know what I would have done. Because I have been on record, Jay will tell you this, that I thought Daredevil was the best comic book show ever.
Yep.
Like, period.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois is a very close second, though. But for me, Daredevil, because of what that character means to me, just gets that little bit of a notch above.
Yeah, so let's just say no, they can't get Spider-Man. We know they're gonna have Frank Castle. We know they're gonna have Punisher.
Yep.
We know there's gonna be something between Punisher, and I hope this is what they're gonna do is Punisher's gonna denounce these cops that are walking around with that Punisher tattoo.
Yeah, I noticed that. Was that what that was? I'm like, is that a...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a kind of callback to a real world thing with cops using the Punisher logo.
Oh yeah, and that's why they changed the logo,
Yep.
right?
Because Frank Castle is not a hero. He's an anti-hero. He will do the right thing, but he murders people.
Yeah.
He will kill people, and it's not like his symbol's not supposed to be used by people that are supposed to protect at all costs and not harm you.
Yeah.
So
Careful what you say. Reacher might be
that's
listening.
true. That's true.
Yeah, there's a crossover for you. Reacher and Punisher.
Yeah. When I saw that,
Oh, wouldn't that be something? What a team would that be, man?
that's too much. That's too much. Man.
Oh no, I'd be throwing my wallet here.
I've
take my money.
already said I'm on record as I want John Krasinski, Jack Ryan, and Reacher to cross over.
Same. But you see the cop at the end. Like I said, we're just gonna skip around, folks. We're not gonna go in a straight line. That's not how we do. So we're gonna skip around.
In a straight line.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a spaghetti bowl.
You only go to straight line. You only straight line when you're dying. This show's alive. We go up and down and up.
There you
and down.
go. There you go. That's a great way to put it.
Do you think that he killed those cops there in the apartment?
That's a conversation that Sean and I had.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the cop that has the tattoo. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we get to meet White Tiger. Rest in peace to the actor. And he thinks he's stopping two guys from just beating the hell out of this other dude. He doesn't know what's going on. He just sees something wrong. He sees these two dudes just wailing on this guy. So he's like, I'm gonna help. Well, he gets into a fight with these two guys. The guy that they're beating up gets away. And one of the guys charges him. He moves. He trips on one of the people on the ground and just gets smashed by this train.
Blood everywhere.
Boom, hits them. Then you find out that those guys were cops.
Yeah.
They didn't say they were cops. Nothing. But you find out after the fact, oh, they were cops. So they take him to the precinct. Matt is there with another client and here's the guy getting tuned up in that room. And flash forward to the end of the episode, they find the guy that was his name Hector? Was that White Tiger's name?
I think so.
I think Hector.
Yeah,
They find the
Hector
guy
Ayala.
that he was. There you go. Thank you, Hector. They find the guy that Hector saved from these cops. The cops do. They go to the apartment. Well, Matt gets there first. Matt gets him to leave, and he's just standing there. This part to me wasn't supposed to be funny, but I thought it was hilarious when those cops come in the room and Matt's just standing there with his cane and just looks at them. And the dude walks up, one cop walks up to him and bumps into him. He's like, move. And he just stands there. He slams Matt up against the wall. He's like, he tells his partner, he goes, hey, where'd he go? Oh, he's gone. And Matt's like, I'd love to help you, but I'm what does he say? Oh, God.
Visually impaired.
Visually impaired.
There you go. Wasn't supposed to be funny. Made me laugh. That part of that does. Well, while he's holding him there, that's when you see that Punisher tattoo. And I was like, ooh, they're gonna go with that. That's a bold choice, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for them. But they're beating on Matt, and Matt is trying his damnedest, dude. He's trying. You can see it. He doesn't want to do anything. But then they decide, nope, we're gonna kill him. Doesn't matter that he's a lawyer. Screw it. And right before the dude pulls the trigger, he lets the devil out. And I can tell you this. This is what I said to Sean, dude. I don't know if those guys are dead, but if they're not, they're gonna wish they were. Because Sean was like, dude, the way he slammed the one guy on his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen that done in fights before and it didn't kill the guy.
Yeah. That's the only one that the other guy for sure is not dead. He's got a really screwed up arm that you saw blood. Yeah. He got knocked out. That guy
awesome.
that where he slammed him on his head, that's the one that's like, if he's because the way his body bent, but then again, I mean, Jay and I skateboarding and rollerblading, we felt kind of similar to that before.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever played
He's
any,
just a little shorter now.
Yeah.
But
if you've
yeah,
ever played
so-
any Arkham Knight games with Batman, then you've done that to plenty of the guys, and Batman doesn't kill anybody. So
this is true.
That's true.
I jumped out of my couch, man, when he freaking slammed that dude on the ground. First, he fucking hits his head in that refrigerator like 3 times. Bam, and then blood just splattered, blood just splattered, blood just splattered.
Yeah.
And then he throws him. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I was so jacked. And then he's just like, when he looks around and he just fucking
Lets out.
screams.
Oh God!
I
yeah,
was like,
dude.
oh my God, here we go. Let's up and go, right?
Yeah, dude. Like again, if there's people out there like, I'm worried about this being Disneyfied, the blood, the violence. Not only that, I don't remember there being F-bombs dropped in the Netflix version, but the F-bomb gets dropped in this show. I'm not going to say like a lot, but I definitely counted about 6 or 7 times somebody dropped an F-bomb in this show, and I don't remember the Netflix one having any of that. I mean, they said shit and stuff like that, but I don't remember any of them cussing, like going that way. So I was like, man,
Open the fucking door.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. James Gunn kind of opened the door for that kind of language with Guardians. That's their one for a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
But this show, I wasn't expecting it. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, they're going to use one, and then I heard it again. Then some random guy says it when it's like a bunch of people talking about Fisk becoming mayor. I was like, okay. So this show, it's like MA is the MA. I'm just waiting for the boning scenes now.
Well, it is Daredevil. You'll get one, I'm sure, eventually.
But as far as like,
I mean, he nailed She-Hulk in like 5 minutes after meeting her. So.
That's
that's
true.
what he does.
That is true.
But
Yeah.
and then as far as some of these smaller characters, I'll be curious to see how BB Urich plays in as the series goes on. But as well as that little doofus that's in Fisk's office with him.
Yeah.
Michael Gandolfini, dude. It
Yeah.
looks so much like his dad. It's insane.
Yeah. So just to see how he's going to play in and whatnot.
And dude, how cold was that? How freaking cold was that? When Fisk is like, oh yeah, I knew your uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you knew her uncle. You killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was. But there's a lot of elements like that where it's just stone cold with
I like
what this does, and that's what makes this version. This version of him so great is he can just look you right in the face, like what he did with the
Philly cheesesteaks.
Philly cheesesteaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
and then
like-
complains about the sandwich afterwards.
he's
A
like-
horrible sandwich.
Oh,
Garbage.
I love that. And it was just to show the Commissioner Gallo, I think was his name, Gallo,
Yeah, something like that.
to show him, hey, we found your illegitimate kid somewhere. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, what is going on?
And all he did was just show him the picture and then said,
Yeah.
that's it. He's like, and the cop like this kind of stepped back and like this said, oh crap. All right. We'll stay on.
I still think that dude's going to be an issue, though, just from him saying, careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
it's going to be the interesting part.
Do you guys know if they're like still planning on doing like they said it was like going to be like 20 episodes or something like that. It's still
9.
supposed to be that many.
I don't think it's going to be
They
I
dropped
heard
it down.
9.
No, I-
9.
I heard
Yeah.
9 too.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
That was a while ago when they first announced that there was like, oh, they're going to make it like a 3-year thing or something. Maybe they still will. Maybe they'll break it down in a couple seasons. But
Yeah, they have, because they've already announced season 2 was already greenlit
Season 2.
and stuff like that. I want to say they've already been greenlit through 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah,
So-
they greenlit them for season 2 in August.
Yeah.
Of last year.
okay.
So that's what had me digging, because I was like, okay, you got greenlit for a second season. It says August 2024. I was like, so how did you even know that this was going to? And then I went back and I found the actor that died. It was like 2023. And I was like, damn, how long have they been sitting on this before they released it? If an actor that was in it has already been gone for 2 years.
Yeah.
Or almost 2 years.
Well,
And that's going to make me sad because we haven't seen too much of that character. And I already kind of like him because he has that, I see a weaker person, I want to go help protect them.
yeah. No, I totally agree.
Where do you think they're going with that? I know right now he's sitting in jail. We're only 2 episodes in, folks. We're doing spoilers and we're doing like, just theories and stuff like that. But where do you see this going if Hector gets released?
Well, the question is, though, is they did the whole in memory of thing with him. Is how many more episodes did they get to film? Is my curiosity with it. How much, is he going to get killed? Is that how they're going to play it off? That's with him knowing that he's dead. That's actually what is very going to be telling. For sure, though, the next episode is going to be very kind of twisty because not only are they going to have to explain the cops, they're going to have to explain why Matt looks like he got the crap beat out of him in the middle of a courtroom. So, and that's going to be kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
He's not just a lawyer in Hell's Kitchen now. He's one half of a pretty big firm that most of the people in the city actually know.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how they do this and how his McDuffie's probably going to have to cover for him in some way, shape, or form is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But this is where a lot of these little webs that they weave, and it was like that from the original series, are going to start really kind of connecting together to a point that it's almost going to be confusing, and then it's all going to make complete sense.
Yeah, like I'm still on Team Vanessa hired Bullseye. I don't know why. There's something about it. And
It's
Ed
because
said
she's
something.
got that darkness to her.
Well, that's true. And Ed said something before we got on the show about the lighting used at the end of the first episode. Ed, you still there? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
So Ed, you want to talk
Yeah.
about that?
Sure. I just noticed when I was watching it right at the end when they zoomed in on Kingpin, he had like a white light shining on him. And then when they zoomed in on Matt, he had a red light shining on
Yep.
him. And to me, that was symbolism that we're going to get Kingpin in the white suit and we're getting Daredevil really soon. It was kind of like foreshadowing what's to come. This is still Kingpin. This is still Daredevil. And that was just one of the brilliant little things they threw in there that if you were paying attention, you're like, that's so damn cool.
They did a similar thing to when he was going through his suits. And he went right on the white jacket, looked at it, and then he grabbed the gray one. Seeing the difference in how him and Matt went, because Matt just went through and found what he was looking for, grabbed it, and went. You see Kingpin look at that white one. He puts the suit on, and then the next thing you see, like y'all mentioned, is Vanessa in the white at a meeting. So it's like I said, there's going to be something there where if it's not somebody draws Kingpin out of himself, it's going to be Vanessa draws him back in. I think.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
Do you-
interesting.
Do you
I think maybe that like going back to what you said before, Jay, like what maybe a little bit of speculation. Maybe it's like this next episode, the White Tigers is gonna get let go because he already found the witness And so the witnesses would come in and say what happened, and then that case is just going to get dismissed, and it could just be the very next episode, and he's already out. Or are they going to draw it out like through all 9 episodes? You're saying of a court case with it, and then it, all the shenanigans that happens throughout, the next 7 episodes, and then he gets out. I think that maybe he's just going to be getting out the very next episode. Then maybe he'll do some vigilante crap, and then. Well, what's up with Bullseye? Like, is he still? He's going to get out, right? Or is he? I mean, is he part of the show? What's going on with that? Was he just a one and done, and now he's going to be incarcerated and then done with?
I don't think we've seen the last of him, and it's mainly because I don't remember seeing Eldon, who plays Foggy. I don't remember seeing his name in the beginning credits, but I remember seeing the actor who plays Bullseye.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done seeing him yet. Whether or not he gets released, or it's going to be just a talking to him in prison, and somehow we find out it was Vanessa that hired him, or whoever. Find out his reasoning for killing Foggy. I don't think he just did. I know the guy's a psychopath, but something tells me he didn't just do it to do it.
Yeah,
There was a purpose and a reasoning for it.
Yeah, it wasn't just revenge.
Yeah.
You just gave me an aha, Jay, and I don't want to forget. Oh crap. Oh no, I got it. When you asked about letting the white tiger get out and the little light bulb went off in my head, I'm like, he's going to get out. The cops are going to still see him as a cop killer. So that's why they showed the Punisher sign. The cops are going to kill him, and that's what's going to bring the Punisher out.
That's good.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. But and I'm with Triple B in that I have a feeling that the case is going to end next episode, because it feels if they're to try to draw it out for the entire season, that would make no sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, they can't with the actor being dead.
Well, like I said, we don't know how much they got to film with him either.
Right.
But even still, it wouldn't. To me, it doesn't make sense story wise to have the trial be the underlying thing of an entire. Like, to me, that doesn't.
Too many things going on for that to happen.
Yeah, so I'm with Triple B in that I wouldn't be shocked if the first thing you hear is you open the next episode with his testimony right in the middle of court. Boom, that's it. And then now we're moving on to whatever else you're going to be doing. I think Triple B is 100% right with that.
And wasn't maybe Bullseye, maybe he was trying to kill Karen accidentally. He didn't,
I don't know, because the way he just says, "Hello, Karen," like he capped those 2 dudes that came out trying to save it. Like, he had plenty of opportunity if he just
didn't he kill Karen in the comic books is what I
yeah
on.
Yeah, he did. But also, Karen was like a drug addict too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the way the Hello Karen thing too is also a throwback to when he debuted, and he played Daredevil when he attacked the newspaper, and he said, "Hello, Miss Page, nice to see you again," when he was trying to frame Daredevil for stuff. So it had that kind of a vibe to it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping that Frank's not the only one we see. I'm kind of hoping that this is where they're like, surprise, Kristen Ritter's back, or surprise, they're not going to use Finn Jones again. But maybe somehow they got Mike Coulter. Finn, the problem with Finn's Iron Fist, and season 2 was definitely better than season 1 of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
The problem was Finn got no training. Like, Finn was doing his fight choreography like in between scenes. That's when he was learning it. There was no training with him, like unlike how they had with Charlie Cox. Charlie had training.
Right.
Charlie got trained. Finn, if they decided to bring him back, wouldn't bother me as long as they trained him up. If they decided to go with somebody else, I'm good. I'm good with that too. Because I as much as I'd want to see Mike Coulter back as Luke Cage, I don't think we're getting Mike Coulter back.
Because of that Preacher show.
I just don't want it to be the Luke Cage we got in season 2 or 3, where he's getting a little too preachy. That's all I hope we don't get. The Cage, like the Luke Cage and Iron Fist we got in season 2 of Iron Fist and in Defenders, that's what I want to see.
They should have just done a Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. Instead of giving them their own shows, they should have just done a Heroes for Hire with those 2 characters. But I'm kind of hoping that, like, I don't need any of those folks to cameo. I just think that'd be a cool way to say, hey, these folks are back.
Mhm.
Um, but I also have a weird feeling like how in the first season of Luke Cage, you think Cottonmouth is the big bad, and nope, he's not.
No,
Black
Like,
Mariah.
what if we find out it's Black Mariah is the big bad in that one?
Yep.
What if we find out it really is like Vanessa? Vanessa has turned a complete 180 from how she was when we very first met her in the Netflix show. And you see her now, man, making all these deals and people fear her. Like,
I don't.
what?
You know, it's weird because it looked more like respect. Because when Kingpin walked in, that was fear.
Well, suck the air out of the damn room when he
Yeah.
walked in.
Hers seemed a little more like respect. Although, like you said, if your theory with the whole bullseye thing holds up, they may already know that if you cross her, she orders a hit, boom, you're gone. So there's that too. But the difference between how she's perceived and how he was perceived walking in the room were two totally different things. You know, to see everybody literally just stand up and like, all right, we're gone.
They're like, yep, nope, we're out of here. See ya.
And if they're not going to use Bullseye as like the lower level kind of, big bad, have Vanessa and Kingpin be the top. Who is a villain? Let's just say that he never gets out of jail. We only visit Bullseye in jail because I still have a feeling he's going to get out. He's going to get broken out.
Yeah,
but
It's like they're gonna let it like Vanessa and Kingpin are gonna. I mean, I think definitely she's behind him, and they need to get him out because maybe Daredevil is like starting to take over, comes back as a vigilante. Like we need somebody because like Daredevil's taking down all of our other guys, right? We need fucking Bullseye, so they get Poindexter in there to do it.
if it wasn't him, though, is there another villain? Is there
Muse.
another villain y'all like to see?
Muse.
Hmm?
Muse.
He's in
Huh.
the preview, I think.
Yeah, he is. It's kind of a spoiler.
Is that the guy
I think he's going to end up being the
in the white?
second main big bad.
Is that
I
the dude in
think.
the white?
Yeah, with
Like
the
a black
Deadpool
dude?
kind of looking, the white
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
interesting. Huh.
yeah.
I need to look that character up because I don't know very much about them.
He
Same.
was only in like 5 issues during the Charles Soule run, 2016, I think. I was trying to look it up today too, but I haven't been able to read it yet. But that's where I got before I started reading other stuff. But
Yeah, because Daredevil has a pretty decent rogues gallery, so there's people you can bring in. A lot of them are going to be people like, oh yeah, kind of forgot, because what is it? Trying to think of. Let me look at this list here.
Well, I was just amazed I never did anything with Melvin Potter outside of
See-
him making.
I'm wondering where he might come in as well to see because he was always a villain, but they never turned him into one. He was just the guy that made Daredevil suits. So, do you think they might do anything and explore other colored suits again with him? Because you got him in She-Hulk with the yellow suit. Now he's, he had the red suit. Is he going to come back? Perhaps using the black armor this time around, or what?
If I remember the trailer correctly, there is a shot that kind of shows different colored helmets.
Mhm.
Like we haven't been.
and like
yeah.
a shelf. Yeah, I saw that somewhere too.
'Cause I'm a fan. I love his black armor suit that he's had a couple of times, so
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. But even just to see again the yellow in live action, because it's not my favorite suit, but it's a pretty for him it's a pretty symbolic suit that he wore. So it'd be interesting to see what he does with it. Because a lot of the reason, if we remember, a lot of the reason why he went to the red was because of Karen. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something in there where him wanting to make that change is why he does something. We get
What do you think they're gonna do with the Punisher?
Frank's going to be Frank for sure. Because
But is he going to be like a team up with Daredevil? Is he going to be kind of like a third party to wondering what he's up to? Do you
I think
think?
he's going to help them fight those cops.
I think he's
Because
in
the cops are going to start.
Yeah, the cops are going to kill that white tiger. I'm almost positive of that because that's the only thing that
There's
makes
also
sense.
been photos of
And
the
then
cops dressed up as Punisher.
I think
Right.
Frank's in jail
Right.
to start it out because one of the scenes with him looks like he's in jail and he's got a full beard and everything. It
Yeah.
also because it looks like he's visiting him in jail or something. So I'd be curious to see what that does. What his appearance is going to be, but
He's
there's
going to help Daredevil fight those cops because those cops are going to turn into like a gang of Punishers.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's all going to be because of White Tiger getting out.
Yeah.
Did you catch that part when he said when Daredevil was like showing him the footage, and he's like, "I didn't even have the amulet." Did you catch
Mhm.
that? I caught that, and it immediately reminded me of something stupid. Amulet Express, don't leave home without it. Because if you'd have had the amulet, the express train probably wouldn't have been a problem.
Lorena, a really good story for you to read would be Daredevil Yellow. And the reason why is because that is basically Matt reliving a bunch of stories up to the point that Karen dies. And this is how you understand why he transitioned from the yellow suit to the red suit. So it's a good one to read where you can see a lot of his history all in one trade.
It's a good pull. He there's also a wasn't there a Daredevil Punisher series?
Oh yeah, there's several.
I'm trying to remember who else, because there was a series you gave me that was a Daredevil series, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, because I've got like volume 1. It's like Daredevil Punisher. Let me say. Let me look it up, and I can. Because it was something with a black circle, I think.
Mm.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, like I said, most of the stuff that I have with Daredevil is Daredevil's kind of like a side character in it. Like I got a couple Deadpool books where he fights Daredevil or he teams up with him. And then, like I said, the biggest story that I have with him in it is Civil War.
Give me a second. Y'all keep talking. I'm going to look this up because I know what you're talking about. In fact, hold on. Let me go look over my trades real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'm trying to think, because there's still so much in that very first episode. Like the trying to think of. My brain just froze for a second. Hold on. It happens, man. Like trying to think of stuff on the fly sometimes because I don't write anything down.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that little giggle blow. No, that was good. You're the only one that cared for that stupid joke.
Oh, there you go. Who's that one by, Sean?
Amulet Express. That was
This
pretty
one
good.
is.
I tried.
I know it was an Amex joke.
This is a Charles Soule.
I think Jay's just desensitized to the puns.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Riley Brown, Simon Kudransky on layouts and art and pencils.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Charles Soule run. So, and if I remember right, I don't think this is the only. This may not be the only volume of this. I could be wrong, but if I remember right, there's a few more of these where they get together. So, but it's really good.
I think
So far, just in the first 2 episodes, have you guys noticed what comic story they may be basing this on, or is it kind of?
I don't know.
Because I know it's not the title because that was season 3.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Daredevil comics to know what they're pulling from.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
not,
Devil's
the
Reign.
Born Again. Yeah, it's not
Devil's Reign.
that much. I don't. It's not the Born Again run. I think it's just Born Again in name, not so much
Right.
the run. It sounds like they're
Yeah, 'cause
doing.
I went and reading
Right.
that, thinking that, oh, well, I heard that it was supposed to be just the name, but let's see what this comic's all about. And I went, yeah, this was nothing like that.
Right. Yeah, and like Dan alluded to in his comments earlier, there's the number 468 where Foggy fakes his death. So it's
So
kind of
now I don't get to hear the end of this from Kyle. Kyle already said if it's nothing like it, he's gonna bitch about it.
Well, get
Yeah.
ready. Get
the funny thing
popcorn
is when
ready.
he said that, you flat told him, you go, well, I've already heard that it's literally just Daredevil Born Again in name only
Yep, and he said, "Be prepared for me to complain about it." Then
for the next year, for years.
From everything I've heard and read, they said that Born Again was season 3 of Daredevil. That they did that storyline already.
yeah,
So I didn't
Yeah,
read it. So
I haven't
didn't
read
know,
Born Again to
but-
really know.
but I also think it just fits what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is not
Just like with Spider-Man Homecoming, he came home.
Yeah.
Same thing.
exactly, and that's another thing about the opening sequence itself that I didn't catch until I was watching some of the other folks that I watch that were doing like a breakdown, and something I didn't even catch on to is if you look at the Daredevil Born Again logo in the opening title, the cityscape underneath makes the Daredevil,
blood.
yeah, it looks like it's dripping blood.
Yep.
Just the way they set that up. Like there's so much like little bitty
Looks like a doggy
like,
break.
details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
bet.
those are the kinds of
All right.
things I was geeking over, man. Were those little
Yeah,
things?
it's a very nuanced show, which
Take
is,
him off while he's going.
What does his shirt say? Could you read it? I've been trying to read it all freaking night. It's like swimming or something. And I know there's got to be a joke to it.
well, it's just, you'll have to ask him when he comes back. Just have him tell you.
Wow, he disappeared and came back as Triple B. That's weird. How did that happen?
I figured since he's like, I'll be right back. I didn't want to just leave his camera on, so I took him off screen till he comes back.
That's all right. You're just blowing my mind with the whole rescrambling of the Brady Bunch grid because everybody keeps changing positions on my TV.
The Hydra bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Here's the story.
That's why I have the locked door variant segment, man.
Hey, folks. Okay, y'all.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi went out for a second. Is really what happened there.
Oh, it's all good. So I'm gonna have to check and make sure I'll nope later. But y'all do me a huge favor and welcome in Phable.
Hey,
Dang.
Fable.
Hey,
Oh.
Phable, what's up, brother?
Oh man, this is awesome, dude.
What's going on, guys?
What's
Boy,
up,
that's
dude?
awesome, man.
Not much, man. Listening to your conversation is awesome, bro.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining, man.
See, this reviewer Daredevil just became more legit because he's got the accent. He's got it, so this just became more legit.
That's true.
Oh,
You know
man.
what? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and pop notes screen back on because I might not be able to see them.
Yeah, well, let's just admire his comics for the moment.
True. True that. So, I want to ask you about your thoughts on Daredevil. Phable, have you watched both episodes?
I've only seen the first one.
Okay. So we won't go any more spoilers in the second episode.
Nah, it's all right, man. I've been listening about all the stuff that happened in the second episode. It's all good. I'm not spoiled by spoilers.
Okay. So
Yeah.
something I like to do. I did this for Robbie and Bearded when they were on. I got to ask, man, what got you into comics? What made you decide, you know what? I love this medium so much. I'm gonna have a show.
I was just following the leader, man, to be real honest with you. Like, when I got into Instagram, I knew a lot of the people that do shows now. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just wanted to do it too. So one day I turned on my camera on Instagram Live and I said, "Hey man, these are the books I got this week." And I wasn't expecting anybody to be there or check it out or anything. And next thing you know, I have this like crowd in the chat, and I'm like, "Holy smoke, man!"
That's actually how these live we wanted to do the lives for a little bit, and Jay just for whatever reason when I'm at work, and he pops on one night, within 30 seconds, people are like, "Hey, what's up?" So the next weekend I'm off, we jump on just to do a test. 4 hours later, so that it was the same thing. That's why we do the lives. And then my work schedule just completely changed again, and that's why I'm only here once or twice a month.
Then being around, Robbie and being around Nick and all those guys, those guys are real professionals, man.
Hey, I was telling people before the show, I was like, look, we have a good time here. I get friends on, we BS, we talk about stuff. I said, but you want to see a much more professional version of this, you need to watch Phable on Friday.
Thank you, brother.
And I do, man. I try to go back. I try to go back and catch it on the rewind because, like I said, unfortunately, I work on Friday nights too. So usually when y'all are starting, I'm starting my next show on the experience. So
yeah, no, you're doing an amazing job, Jay. Man, you're awesome, dude. Seriously, man, you kill it. You and this whole crew, man. Triple B, Eddie, Nope, and of course Sean. Love you guys, man. I love watching you guys.
Same, dude. Like I tell Robbie all the time, man. Robbie surrounds himself with great people, and that's how I met most of y'all was through Robbie. And just y'all are so positive about you don't love everything, but you're also not. You don't shit on things either. Like all the time. Like if there's something that you don't like, you're not sitting there dwelling on it or anything like that. You say, "Hey, I didn't like this." You move on, and that's one of the reasons I watched like you and Sean got me into watching Robbie. He got me into watching Nick, and I watched Stu. I try to catch everybody's stuff, but it's really hard. There's so many people.
Oh my God, yeah, I can't even catch all of this stuff, and those are my guys. So don't feel bad.
Yeah, because I mean, my view on it has always been, negativity gets clicks, and that's what sucks about society right now.
Yeah.
But for every one of us on here that hates a comic or doesn't like it, somebody out there is going to like that thing. Period.
There you go.
So obviously, for that particular comic, you're not necessarily the audience we're going for. So it's like let the people who like the comic talk about it to get the people into it.
That's exactly my attitude, dude. That's exactly how I try to treat everything I talk about. I try to have a little bit more respect for it, even though it's not my cup of tea, because I know somebody out there is a big fan of it. And, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I'll deal with a lot of covers and art and stuff like that. And even if it's not like something that I don't think is maybe not that good, I'm not going to shit on it because like that artist put his sweat and tears in that, making that. And so like, who am I to say like, oh, you don't know how to draw or something like that?
Exactly.
So I don't like to do negative at all. I'll be positive and see positive and everything. And like what Sean says, like, freaking negativity sells and people will put out videos about negative this and that's just talk crap about something just because they can get clicks, I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about something that I like. And even if I don't like it, I'll still say, hey, they did a good job on it because I'll get mystery packs. I'm like, hey, maybe it's not this cover may not be that great, but you know what? I'm not going to say, hey, this thing sucks.
Yeah. And the negativity is hard to sustain as well. Because first of all, I can't hate read or hate watch anything. Like if I don't like something, I'm not just going to sit there and watch it just so I can make something up to talk crap about. But then you got to sustain this outrage, kind of content. And pretty soon when you run out of things to hate on, you start making things to hate on. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we've seen these guys burn out all the time. These guys who hate on shit all the time. So, I'm sorry. I don't know if I.
No, you're good.
Coming from a place there, that happened to me quite a bit. And being that I've known Jay for 20 years, he's watched me go through stuff like that where I was so down on everything. I looked for reasons to hate other stuff. And, and there was a long time there where I wouldn't we knew I was interested in something, but because I got so into that mode, I didn't care. And then I'd be a prick about it. Finally, at the risk of almost losing friends and family, I made a change, and it's just the last 4, now almost 5 years for me have been way better than they ever were.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. It's fun to bag on some stuff.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we all do it. Because
but as long as you keep it
I have
clean.
seen some truly shitty comics.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to sit there and bring it up on here on purpose because they worked on it. Somebody out there is going to enjoy it. So it's like we'll just bring up the stuff that we all want to talk about here and just have a good time with it.
Yeah. And yeah, Lorena, you're exactly right, man. Like,
hear
there's enough negativity in the real world.
Yes.
Like, why bring that into something that's supposed to, like, comics to me should be
that's
like,
your escape.
In wars, there used to be, this particular part of where the battlefield we're fighting on, this is neutral ground. We don't fight here. And I wish comics was like that. Like, the fact that we were in a medium that not too long ago, there wasn't this many people that were fans of it. You were an outcast if you read this stuff. You were an outcast if you carried your comics to school with you and stuff like that. Like, I didn't get picked on, but there were people that looked at me funny if I was reading a comic in class.
Yeah.
How can you like this garbage? Now look at it. Look where it's come. It's so like in the mainstream, it's like awesome. That means, we could bring more people into stuff that we love.
Yeah.
But then we have that section of folks that they're like, well, you love this, but I know I can get people to watch me if I say this is garbage.
Yeah.
Again, man, I wish this was something where this is why I do watch channels that have differing views, obviously, because I want to hear both sides. But I try to stick more with the people that are trying to be positive and be cool with people, You're not starting arguments in your own chat. You're not doing things like that. You have your buddies on. You just talk. You're not bashing stuff. You're talking about the stuff that you love.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that, again, I wish there wasn't this negative sector of the comic book YouTube community.
Yeah.
I wish there was more times where we could be like, hey, and I'm not going to mention their names, this person that's always negative, and that's why you have 30,000 subscribers, come on my show and let's talk about stuff. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather have people that I know that are that have a positive impact on people.
The funny thing is,
somebody famous.
You get most people like that though, and you say, "Come on my show," they don't want to because they don't want to have to defend their stance face to face to somebody. It's easier for them to record a video and say it, and then comments are a whole different ballgame. But when you're this live face to face, a lot of them don't want to do it.
Well, a lot of them don't have the stones to do it. It's really easy to be negative and mean when you're anonymous and nobody knows who you are. Because dang well most of those people in real life don't say stuff like that because they don't have the
most negative thing we ever had on this channel. I did a short when we were big into the castings. I cast Red Hood, and I used
Colton Haynes
as Red Hood. This guy went off in the comments that I shouldn't have cast Colton Haynes as Red Hood because Red Hood is not gay, but Colton Haynes is in real life. That has absolutely nothing. I'm like, the first thing I said to the guy was, I was like, were you this big mad when they cast Ian McKellen as Magneto? Nothing. I went back and forth with the guy for a while. Finally, we just deleted and blocked it, but that's about the most negative we've ever gotten. And I told the guy, and Jay even agreed, it was the stupidest thing I had ever read. And so
it's so true. I had a buddy of mine who also does lives and has his own channel, does very well. He invited somebody that's considered a negative person in the community, but he's open to all the views, like you said. And the guy canceled on him. You know what I mean? At the last minute. And I think it's because of what you say. They don't want to really sit there and have to defend. And some of the things that I've noticed, to be honest, after doing this for so long and knowing most of these guys, is that some of them don't actually read their book. They just carrying over other
Oh,
opinions.
wow.
They're not really into the shit like you think they are. They just want to be personalities. If that
There-
makes any sense.
I won't say who, but there was a couple guys on. One guy in particular that Jay used to work with, that was a guest most weeks. He knows who I'm talking about. He felt like the same way. If it was anything past, like any comics before he started his channel, dude knew nothing. And it didn't seem like he cared enough to learn about it. So
Right.
when Robbie came after him, now you've got Robbie who's like, that dude seems like he can remember something he read 30 years ago, page number, what panel. It amazes me what he does, and I can't do that. That's why my reviews go from first page to last page, somewhere in the middle, and yet you've got guys, like him that can just read through the book. It's almost like an eidetic memory.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous of being able to have that.
Oh, I tell them all the time. I'm like, dude, how the hell? That's a gift, right? I tell them all the time. That's a gift to be able to speak about 20 books without going and it just do it for
That's
hours
the,
straight.
the fact that he told me he doesn't script any of that.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. He goes, nope, because I thought he did, because he looks like he looks over sometimes off the camera. He goes, nope, that's just me trying to think. I'm like,
Remember it. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, make me feel bad about trying to stumble through one book. So
Yeah, I might be able to like read a book and do something like that, but when you're doing like 15, 10, 20 books, there's no way. But like one book, yeah, I could probably pull it off, but
yeah, you get
not that many.
The only way I could do it is I had to learn how to do it like Jay does. And I'll use this as an example because I don't have a notebook. It's you got to have something like this and write. And it's just kind of glance down at your notes. That's the only way I can do multiple books.
Doing it live would be insanely hard, man. Like, especially when you guys do have a minute to
if
skim
people
it.
want me to do it, I'll try it. I'll jump on live one night after reading something. I'll try.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to.
That's what I'm going to end up doing on my channel, Sean. So go
I
for it.
I have to do that for me to skim it.
Yeah.
Like, even if I only read 5 books, I have so many notebooks that are full of notes from the books.
I used to steal notebooks from work for him.
Yeah.
Because they give them out 5 subject notebooks to me for free. So I walk home like, do you need a book? Yeah, here you go.
You might be able to sell those notes to the girlfriends of men who are into comics so that they can pretend to know what you're talking about. It could be like Cliff Notes, but Jay's notes, and women all over want to buy them.
Understand your nerd boyfriend better.
Yeah.
Right.
Jay's notes. So y'all heard Jay's notes. It's, I like the art. This was pretty. I like this. This was fun. Like, those are my notes for the book.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, before Superman and Lois, I would have loved to just gotten that from my wife. But her turning to me and saying, he's an excellent Lex Luthor, I'm like, who is this? So those little tidbits that you come up with are
That's when you
gems
turn
to guys that are not with
You
women.
turn to her and you're like, you have no idea how turned on I am right now that you just said that.
You're damn right. You're damn right. I had to pick my jaw up off the floor first. No, The Walking Dead came on, and Abraham come up. She goes, that guy was an excellent Lex Luthor. And this is the woman who couldn't have named Underdog or Superman 10 years ago. But she watched Superman and Lois with me, and now she knows Lex Luthor. And I'm like, oh my God, we're in the multiverse. What is happening?
awesome. So, before we get too much more off track, I got to ask, because he's here now. Phable, what did you think about Daredevil?
I loved it, man. From what I saw the first episode, I mean, that opening was like put you right back in. It's like they didn't miss a beat. And I know people were complaining about the CGI, but I kind of saw it on my phone, so I didn't notice a lot of the CGI, to be honest with you. Maybe when I watch it on the big screen, I'll notice that stuff a little better. But barring that aside, just the direction and the action and the way they did it, and just having my jaw drop twice with Foggy getting hit and him dropping Bullseye off the roof the way he did. I mean, he just fucking shoved him off the roof. Like, get the hell out of here.
Throwing out the trash.
Yeah, I was just like, man, yes, this is it. You guys got it. and I couldn't believe it. I was really in shock that they nailed it.
Yeah.
It does slow down a little bit after that, but it's okay. You know, we're trying to get back into the swing of things. I know episode 2 will probably pick up. I know the whole season will probably pick up. But if episode 1 is any indication of what we're in for, they recaptured the magic, and that's hard to do, man. That is almost near impossible to do. So no, it was great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was trying to I was
agree
trying
more,
to
Phable.
nitpick the first episode a little bit, you know, but after watching it, I was like, I mean, no, this is good. And I guess people were talking about CGI, but like, I thought it was freaking cool. Let's see him use his whatever he swings at people and like his nunchucks or whatever it is. I mean, I thought it was good.
No. You know, he's known for slinging two
Yeah.
things. So make sure you
Purple-headed yogurt slinger over there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way he hit those rooftops, the way he swung in. You know, that's Daredevil, man, to the T. That was awesome, man. And like Jay had said earlier in the chat, how he was using his ears, his hearing. You know, like to hear Foggy's conversation through the bar. Everybody's talking, and he like focused on Foggy and the heartbeat thing you guys were talking about earlier. All of that, man, that was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, they utilizes his hearing very well in this, and like kind of like it made it like it was his superpower, where like everything went quiet around it, and he can like zone in and really listen to somebody's conversation. Like especially in like episode 2, we won't go into it because you haven't seen it, but yeah, how he was able to do that, he really is like using that as like almost a superpower. It's amazing.
The thing that I've always found interesting, though, that they've never done with him throughout the series, but they did it in the Ben Affleck movie. They've never done the whole his vision is a bit like sonar type thing. They've never done that with him, which is interesting. I can't remember if they ever showed his vision on the show or not. If they did, it was like one time, and I think it looks like flames, if I remember right.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they showed it. I think they did, but
Like,
I
it
did
looked
like that from
Yeah.
the Ben Affleck Daredevil. That was cool as hell.
With the rain, right?
Everything vibrating. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've noticed it because that's a lot of reasons why he would hide in certain spots so he could hear you and he'd bounce off things. But yeah, that's interesting that they've never done that with Charlie. They just focused on his, innate ability to smell things and be his hearing and stuff.
I also love how realistic like the fights are in this show. Like I like how, they're beating the crap out of each other, and Bullseye is, even though he's still pinpoint accuracy with his throws and everything, he was getting wore down, and Daredevil was getting wore down as they kept going towards the roof, and it's like, man, yeah, this is how you do it. This is grounded fighting right here. It's not like you punch a guy 17 times in the face and he's not knocked out. Come on now, you know what I mean? So it was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely made it more realistic, and like you're getting tired after throwing punches, beating down, getting freaking knives thrown at you, and Daredevil's, his costume or his armor, was taking it in, and it was definitely good. It makes it more realistic, is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
The first
They've
time
been good with that.
the first time when they showed you his hearing when he was listening in on the phone call outside, do you think that little flashlight, that I don't know if you noticed, but like a flashlight circle appeared on his ear just as he started listening in? And then they slowly kind of like went away with it. And as soon as I saw that, I instantly thought of Bela Lugosi Dracula. Because whenever he was trying to hypnotize women, they shined a flashlight in his eyes, and that was supposed to be his eyes glowing. And once in a while, he'd forget, and he would like look down a little bit, and the flashlight would be up on his forehead for like a split second. But I was just wondering if you thought that was not deliberate, or was that a camera glare? Because it looked perfect. Right on his ear.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that just to see it again. Because again, like Eddie has said, there's so many small nuances that they did, just even in that first 20 minutes.
Yep.
That it's hard to remember everything and see it all.
Like Phable said, they got it, and I hope they don't lose it.
Yeah.
Because they lost it once, and getting it twice is special. Don't try it a third time.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe it being on Disney Plus, that's some people have the trepidation about watching it. Like, no matter what we've said about, hey man, there's f bombs in this. There wasn't f bombs in the Netflix one. This one's just as brutal as the Netflix one. Do you think that it's the Disney Plus part of it that some people are like, I don't even want to try it because Disney's been going downhill for 10 years now apparently.
I mean, you can't blame a lot of people for thinking that way. They kind of trained us like that in the last couple of years. But I think the word of mouth is what's going to ultimately make anybody check it out. And if you're a comic book fan, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Are you really going to let that stop you? You're going to check this thing out, I think, in my opinion.
And in all honesty, Disney Plus has been doing a good job with most of the Star Wars stuff. I mean, The Mandalorian is brilliant, and everyone I
Yeah.
know loves The Mandalorian. So I don't think that's, but when it comes to the MCU, it's become just like the whole Snyder versus Gunn thing with DC. You got the people who still think all their movies are great, and you got the people who thinks all their movies suck. Well, people, I'm sorry to tell you, some were great, some do suck.
Mhm.
And some of their later stuff, I don't like talking bad about stuff, but it's been subpar. So this was a breath of fresh air to me, man, watching Daredevil. I was like, yes, this is the best thing I've seen since Werewolf by Night from you. Keep this.
Well-
Don't do the stupid humor stuff that's been ruining your goats that scream and all that garbage.
Yeah.
Keep it like this. Because this is almost following, it's only been 2 episodes, but it's kind of following the same pattern, movement, and style as the Penguin did.
Yeah, and I'm not against humor in movies at all, but there are times where let the scene breathe. Like Doctor Strange, I love the first Doctor Strange movie. Like, granted, my favorite movie is still Winter Soldier. Out of the MCU, there's something about Winter Soldier that's my favorite movie that they've done. But Doctor Strange had these really good, heavy, heavy moments. Like when the Ancient One died and Steven starts crying. Like the tear just starts rolling down. I wish they would have let that breathe. But what they did was they had the cape do the funny, wipe away the tear, and he's batting it away. Like, I don't mind the humor, but I want it to be a little more organic, doesn't feel as forced. Like, let a moment breathe. If it's a heavy moment, like if they would have cracked a joke when Daredevil just tossed Bullseye off the roof, that would have killed.
Yeah.
That would have killed the momentum of just the meaning of that moment right there.
That's just one of the best things they did in Avengers was it Endgame when Hawkeye went off on him for Black Widow's death. Because they had a bad habit of doing quippy jokes in the Avengers stuff, and they let that moment be what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of piggybacking on what Jay said. Let it be what it's supposed to be, and not you're trying to aim for an audience. The flip side of what you were saying, Jay, is there's also that audience that has been waiting for Disney Plus to do something like this as well. There's that too, so that could bring in that new audience as well.
Yeah, I like how it's more raw, more real. There really wasn't that much comedy in it. Let's get a good drama, good freaking. I don't know. They're doing Hell's Kitchen just right. I know it's maybe a little bit off-putting with what Kingpin and his wife with Vanessa is a little bit. I don't know. It's more realistic, I guess. Like he really loves his wife and he really wants to be with her, and like they're going to marriage counseling. Like, where is that going to go? But there was really no comedy in this series yet so far. They're making it more realistic, and everything matters. It's what I like about it. Like, there's real consequences in people's actions so far in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were talking about Thunderbolts and our expectations for Thunderbolts, and I was a little worried, and it's because of what you guys are saying now. It's like one of my favorite MCU movies ever is The Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think the Guardians of the Galaxy sent the wrong message to Disney. So it was like a double-edged sword. It was like a huge hit because of its comedy, but I think they try to emulate that tone all the way after it, and it kind of bled into a lot of things. And when I was watching the Thunderbolts trailer, I was kind of scared they were going into that route. Now I'm not saying they're going in that route,
Right.
but I kind of got that, like, I hope they don't try to Guardians this thing. Like, I hope they try to just let it be what it is, you know, a bunch of rogues getting together to fight, you know, this omnipotent being, the Sentry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't, you know, because the way I see it, people are going to die in the Thunderbolts. I don't know if you guys get that feeling, but I think, you know, this is going to be a Suicide Squad type of thing. And I hope that those deaths hit because the tones are more grounded. You know, I love Guardians, but not everything has to be Guardians.
That's my whole thing about, you know, when people say things like Superman's not supposed to be Batman, Flash isn't supposed to be Batman. That's absolutely 100% correct. I agree with that. But I also don't think that every character, when it comes to MCU, not every character is Spider-Man or Deadpool or Tony Stark. You know, Thor, I like the Thor movies except for Love and Thunder. I wasn't a big fan of that one. But Thor is not a big dumb blonde.
No.
And there are some parts of those movies where they portray him like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's not him.
Yeah.
Don't turn him into Spider-Man or Deadpool with the quips if that's not his character. He can be funny. Batman can be funny sometimes. If you ever watch the DC animated movies, he's not intentionally funny, but Batman does some funny stuff in some of those movies. I think Thunderbolts is going to be a sleeper hit, honestly, but I'm right there with you, Fable, on I hope it's not a quip a minute kind of deal. Let the comedy be organic, let it be natural. If there's going to be some kind of banter, because there's going to be banter with these folks, there's got to be.
Yeah.
You know, just if there's a heavy moment in there, just let it breathe a little bit. I'm super excited for it just because the fact we're finally getting Sentry in a movie. We still don't have Beta Ray Bill. I'm still upset about that. I'm still waiting for my horse store. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I hope they don't, because like in the Guardians, for me, I really really dig the Guardians movies. I don't usually rank things, but if I was going by which ones, like if I was going to rank them, 2 is in the last spot for me. I liked 2, but I don't think 2 was as strong as the first and third one.
For sure.
But yeah, so how about you, Nope? What do you think? Says, what do you think about, you know, is it the Disney Plus thing to you? Is it just people
I
being
think it
people?
really just depends on, you know, how you feel about it. Because if you follow politics and you're into the whole, you know, woke, you know, no Disney, whatever, then sure, you're not going to follow any of it. But, you know, anybody who was a diehard Marvel fan, everything before the Disney Plus stuff started, then I would say that those people just haven't seen a preview yet. Because once you actually seen that first preview of the Born Again stuff and you seen that arm snap, it was like, I think we're back.
Yeah.
There's a chance for it. So, and then, yeah, it fully delivered. So,
yeah,
I think it just depends on, you know, how butthurt you are about all the other Disney Plus stuff you've watched, or if you haven't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, some of that stuff really infuriates me that people won't give things a chance. Like my first thought was, and it sucks that I feel like this sometimes just from stuff that I hear. My first thought was, we have an African American female lawyer in this show. Are we going to bitch about that? Is there going to be, oh, that's a diversity hire because apparently women and black people can't be lawyers?
I
I'm
didn't
glad
even
you
notice
mentioned
that.
that, because first of all, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a true Marvel fan going back to the Copper Age and you know what I mean, and the Bronze Age and all of that, they've been including, you know, all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life in their books since forever. There's a difference between diversity and pandering. And I think that what they're doing now is getting mistaken for diversity when it's really just pandering. They're trying to like appease a group of people. Um, that they don't really care about. Where back in the day, they were just including these people because it was real life stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to mirror. I mean, if you live in New York City, and most of these characters are based in New York City, New York City is a melting pot.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense that it would just be one kind of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you can
yeah,
tell that
no,
there was depth too to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just here's this person, but here's this person and here's why. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
and here's
have
why
you
it
ever
makes
read an
sense
X-Men
too
book?
to have this person. Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Have you ever read X-Men? I mean, X-Men is just like, come on, all the woke stuff is there if you're
Right.
looking for it, but they handled it in a subtle, great way, and we all got the fucking pic. I mean, we got the picture. We didn't
Yeah.
need it spelled out for us. You know what I mean?
Believable. It was believable.
Yes.
You didn't have to think about it. I mean, it didn't even
Right.
occur to me to think that this character is black. This character, you
Yeah.
just loved the
Exactly.
character. And until when Jay just said he thought there was going to be a fight about a black lawyer, I'm like, there was a black lawyer? I don't remember.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
even think
you
about
said
it
it, I'm
either
like,
until
oh
you
yeah,
said
she was.
it.
I don't think about color. That's not how I was
No,
raised.
Right.
It's
It's
just
Good
this
characters are good
But when
characters.
but what Fable said about pandering, I think he hit it out of the park. That's
Mhm.
exactly what they were doing, and I think that's what got so many people angry.
Yeah.
Because even the minorities they were supposedly pandering to were getting ticked off. Why are you doing this? Knock it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it feels like with McDuffie, it's like, no, you just cast the perfect person that came in and read the part. That's why you don't see that. You just see McDuffie, the character. So,
exactly. But I'm so used to. Unfortunately, that's just like when it comes to any of these shows, any of these movies. That it's unfortunate that my first thought was, man, they're gonna attack this actress. Somebody out there is gonna have a problem that she's a lawyer for some reason. And to me, it's like, dude, just enjoy the show. Like, I hate to break it to you and be, the wave the flag white guy here. White people aren't the only people on the planet, y'all. Like, there's many humans on the planet. Like, there. If you gave me a superhero show, and it was nothing but white folks, I think, what freaking reality do these guys live in?
mhm.
There's all kinds of people. Yeah, and that's what that reminds me of, the Pandaverse episode.
Nice
Yeah, because
pull,
it's
right?
like you said, man. Even the people that you're trying to represent, they could see through that shit. They could see that you're trying to sell them something. Like, I want my Steve Rogers to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. I'm sorry,
And I want my Black Panther.
I'm
I want my
saying,
Black Panther to be
I
an
want him to be-
African king.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want anything changed. I want them the way I saw them, and it's okay if they're whatever they are. It's fine. It doesn't
If
bother
we're
me.
gonna pass the mantle, then let's pass the mantle in an organic way. Like, let it be. Like, it honestly didn't bother me that they skipped Bucky to go to oh my goodness,
Sam Wilson.
to Sam, because Sam and Bucky were both Cap's best friends. They had a different plan for Bucky. Jesus.
Kill
For
a
Bucky,
vampire.
yeah, exactly. They had a different plan for Bucky in the MCU, so they went to Sam. And yes, I am still on the thing of, well, why didn't he have super serum? He has tech, but then again, people have made the argument, and it's something I've come to start changing my mind on. If I can believe Batman, who is a person who has no powers whatsoever, can use tech to be a superhero, I can give Sam Wilson a little more leeway to be Cap without having super serum.
Mhm.
Like, I've started to come around to that thinking. But again, it's not like they just grabbed a random person. It was like, we're making this person the next Cap just because. Sam was in line. Sam has been Cap in the comics. We skipped Bucky, but guess what? We skipped Hank Pym being in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Hank Pym was an old man in the MCU. They used Scott Lang. So it's one of those things where it's like, yo, it's comic book stuff, man. It's comic book stuff. It's supposed to make you happy. Like, Robbie said it best. No, we didn't have this stuff when we were kids. And again, if you would have told 5-year-old Jay hey, dude, in the future, you're going to have so much shit to watch, you're not going to know what to do with yourself, I would have been ecstatic. But also, we don't have to just take crap. You know, there are some of these shows that aren't good. People aren't going to like them. That's fine. But I'm never going to be like, hey, I did like She-Hulk, but let's just say I didn't like She-Hulk. I'm not going to go out of my way to tell you, hey, don't watch She-Hulk. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, this character isn't exactly how they were in the comic. They tweak them. They're going to tweak them for they're going to bring them up to like what today's age is in certain aspects. Yes, would I have liked to have seen my redheaded oh my goodness, I am just screwing up names tonight. Mary Jane Watson, there we go. In in the Spider-Man movies, yeah, but I also think Zendaya does a fantastic job as a different MJ.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's one of those things where I'm just like, we got to get over this whole. There are sometimes they're going to hit the nail on the head with the casting. I still don't think, as much as I like Brie Larson as an actress, I didn't care for her as Captain Marvel. Not one bit. I don't think again, personally, I don't think she was a good fit for that role. But that didn't start me on a campaign about how Captain Marvel sucks and nobody should watch it or anything.
I have something that I'm trying to see if I'm misremembering because somebody can help me explain this. It's White Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it made to look like that's what Bucky was supposed to be becoming at one point?
White Wolf.
White Wolf. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I couldn't remember. It's like I remember him saying white something, and
Yeah.
I thought it was White Tiger. Okay, so it was White Wolf.
There's an actual White Wolf in the comics. It was like the adopted brother of T'Challa, but they end up calling Bucky the White Wolf. So that was another thing. I was like, well, if we're already calling him the White Wolf and the Winter Soldier, the Cap thing was probably like, well, let's upgrade Sam from Falcon to Cap.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like,
But
again, it was natural to me. There was no way like when Sam got the shield at the end of Endgame, it didn't like blow my mind. Like it was cool that he got it, but I wasn't like, how in the world could they give it to Sam? I was just like, okay, so we're going with Sam first instead of Bucky.
Yeah. But it's weird though because they only mentioned the White Wolf thing once, and then that was it. Now he's still himself.
Well,
So
I mean, there's a laundry list of stuff that they've mentioned in the MCU that.
That's true. That is true.
Like, look at Nova Corps. We've heard about Nova Corps since the first Guardians movie. Where the hell? I mean, I know Nova's coming now.
Yeah, but not for like another like 2 or 3 years. And it's like,
well, they've had 3 renditions of the 10 Rings already in the Marvel universe. So.
We still haven't got a correct Mandarin, and that's so annoying.
Oh God, that still annoys me too. They say that they made it all better, but to me they didn't. I did not like how they. But we won't.
Now, granted, I liked Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And I look at it as because I just was like, it was to me, it was a martial arts action flick with some comic book elements to it. It's like a modern day Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
You know what I loved most about that movie though? Is I didn't know much about the character.
Mm-hmm.
Those are movies that I really get excited to see because I'm not going to sit here and say I've read everything under the sun. There's just too much. There's just too much. But when I heard that movie was coming out, I was like, dude, this is going to be great because this is a character I don't know much about, and I really enjoyed the movie. I think the Trevor Slattery Mandarin thing. I thought Ben Kingsley was awesome. Much better than when they tried to use Killian, which apparently Killian was also, I think, was it Robbie that was telling me he was also supposed to be Fing Fang Foom, or somebody told me that, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
he was no Fing Fang Foom. No, what are you talking about? Like, oh, because of the dragon tattoo. I was like, no, man, are you kidding me?
Yeah, if that's how you're gonna do him, like you should have done it.
Well, if you remember in the first Iron Man,
terrorist group that kidnapped Tony was calling themselves the Ten Rings.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first. And
Yeah.
then they faked you with the Mandarin, and then Shang-Chi, and it's like, okay, so there's like 30 rings. Got it. But one ring to rule them all, and never forget that.
Yeah. Oh man.
There it is. But yeah, just so going back to Daredevil, this is just, I think it's going to be like the Netflix stuff to me. Like in terms of, I think this is going to be my favorite thing they do, because the Netflix series of Marvel stuff I was really really big into. Um, Jessica Jones I really dug. Luke Cage I actually only watched, I think, part of season 2. I don't think I finished season 2. Uh, Iron Fist to me was the weakest of them all, but I did still like it. I did still like it, but Daredevil to me was just like on another level.
Iron Fist.
And
Ironically, they made Iron Fist a much better character when they did the Defenders crossover.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, cool. Because when he freaking punches Luke in the face in that crossover, it's like, oh, now you make him this relevant badass that he actually is. Because he's supposed to be a better fighter than Daredevil.
I just hope they don't do like. I just hope they don't do the same thing like we were talking about earlier with Guardians, how they try to bring the humor over. I hope they don't try to do that with every show that they come out with, like try to Daredevil it or try to make it at that
Yes.
tone
Yeah.
on the reverse side of things, because I liked Werewolf by Night because it was so unique and so different from everything else. And you know, I hope going forward, whenever they visit that universe, they use that tone. I hope they don't try to be like, well, Daredevil's winning for us. Let's make everything this grounded and serious. You know what I mean?
that's 100% on point, man. I love that you brought that up, because again, not everything needs to be the same tone like that. Like the tone that they have for Daredevil works for Daredevil. If they made a slapstick, the human cartoon, if they made a show about him, I wouldn't want it to be like Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they made a Spider-Man one, I wouldn't want Spider-Man to be acting like Punisher. Like, I don't want that. I want tones that fit the characters, and this tone for Daredevil fits Daredevil. Like, it is a darker, I don't want to say Batman of the universe, but it's that darker tone of character. Like, I don't want Frank Castle out here, calling people names, and trying to banter back and forth with people like Peter does. I want him to be that. You know who Frank is. Frank is a man of very few words.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 100% agree with you on that, man. I don't want everything going forward to look like Daredevil, but if it's a character that tone fits, go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like what you guys are talking about. How, like, let's have like these shows. Let's have Guardians be Guardians, and like, oh, that was such a success. Let's make our Thor movie like that. No, let Thor be Thor. Let's make all these characters. They kind of live in their own universe, right? So let them be their own certain type of genre, like the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier was freaking amazing, and it was that spy thriller. We don't need to. Okay, now let's copy that and make every movie like the Winter Soldier, or make every movie like the Guardians. They all need to have their own little what do you say, like clique or niche or whatever, their own theme to them, right?
Yeah, Thor is one of the ones to me that's like that's the character that kind of ticks me off the most. Because after his second movie, which honestly I think is really underrated, it's like you said, it felt like, here came Guardians, like, all right, Thor, how can we make you more campy? And then you had Ragnarok, which really started to go off the rails with him. And I mean, the one joke that fit that he ever did was what was it, the first Avengers movie, and it was something about Loki, and he goes, he's adopted. Like that's fine. Add that joke, and that's about as far as you need to go with him. you know, other than that, because when I read him in the comics, I'm like, so, and really the only comic I really got exposure to him on was the Wolverine. Was it 3 Months to Die or something like that?
Yeah.
That's a lot of my exposure to Thor, and he is so different in that it's not even funny.
Yeah, and like I told you before, Sean, it was amazing to me that I learned before he passed. My dad liked the Thor movies. I don't think he ever saw Ragnarok or Love and Thunder, but my dad was a big fan of the first two Thor movies. And it was one of those things where I'm like, well, he these are the ones that I want him to remember. Like when it starts getting to the goofier stuff, I don't know if my dad would have liked it, but again, my dad had a very dry, weird sense of humor. Like Sean will tell you, my dad had a very weird but dry, funny sense of humor. So I mean, the last show I remember him being really into comic book wise is he got real into Resident Alien, and he turned it on one night just for some background noise. And he called me up. He goes, "Hey, you ever watch this show? This is a comic show, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I really like this show. This show's funny." So, like, it's weird to say. It's things like that. Like my dad being like, I think Batman was the only other until Deadpool. I think Batman was the only other movie comic book wise he ever watched that he liked. So it's like, man, when I tell people I'd like the characters to be as close to the comics as they could be, this is kind of why. This is kind of why, because if you can have my dad like your movies, the comic movies, man, you've done a good job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, Nine Panel, I agree, dude. I don't get the hate for a lot of things. I mean, I understand it though. But the Dark World, I liked it. Like I liked it a little more than Ragnarok, and I know for a lot of people that's very blasphemous. I did not dislike Ragnarok at all. I had fun with Ragnarok. They really just lost me with Love and Thunder.
My name is Cold. I'm made out of rocks, as you can tell. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean Thor. I can't tell you I was a big Thor fan as a kid. Like I thought he was kind of a dry character. You know, spoke in that Norse speak,
Yeah.
to thy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me as a kid, but I do like what's the name of the actor that plays him?
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth?
Yeah, I think Hemsworth brings a lot to the role. I think he has great comedic timing.
Yeah.
I think in the first movie, it is good to have it be sort of comedic because he's a fish out of water. He's on a planet that he's never been in, so it makes kind of sense. And I do like his characterization in the Dark World because he is a king of a very advanced society. You know what I mean? And he's not a dummy, like you said, like the dumb blonde thing. That's why I think, yeah, they do take it so far. As far as Ragnarok, what stands out to me the most about that movie is the Kirby inspiration. I mean, that movie has so much Kirbyism in it. It's I mean, the crackle is there. The damn set design is right out of a Kirby comic book. It's a love letter, to his art. But yeah, they lean too much to one side in Love and Thunder. They lean way too much on one side. You know what I mean? They should have took a combination. You know, he can be funny, but he's also not an idiot.
Yeah. No, totally agree.
With Thor, like the series that I really read was the Jason Aaron run with God of Thunder, and they what was so amazing about that run is it gave us the God Butcherer that was Christian Bale played. So like I had that. It was issue number 2 of that was the first God of the Butcher first appearance. And since when Christian Bale got announced to play that character, that comic book went up so much money. I bought that comic book for cover price at like $3.99 or something like that. I sold it for $252.
Dang.
So I made bank off of that comic book. I mean, I still have the whole run. Because I have the whole run. That's the only one that I sold of it. I'm like, do I sell this? I'm like, someone's going to give me $252 for this, I had to do it. So that's why I like Love and Thunder for sure, because that made me some bank off of that.
Oh,
I feel like the price has gone back down on those though since then.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
that movie came out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it dropped big time. I sold it at its peak, man. So yeah, that was a big score for me. Yo, what up, Eddie?
Hey,
We got
Phable, just
visual.
wanted to say hey. Nice to see you,
We got
brother.
visual.
Hey, shit. What's going on, my brother?
All right, guys. For me, I've got to go ahead and get off because I got to start getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. So I've got to
Yeah.
laundry and
Uh,
I got to do adulting.
I know. I only get you 2 times a month.
This is the most I've been on consecutively.
Yeah. Twice.
Last time I got sick,
Yeah, that's true.
and then I didn't get on until I was on this month. So hopefully by the time I get settled in with everything, by the time I get settled in back up there, it'll be time to come back on. So yay, I'll be coming from a completely different location next time I'm back on here.
Moving again?
Yeah, I gotta go live with him.
Yeah, remember he's coming back here for a little while.
Oh, nice. That's
Just
good.
gonna pull up a second chair there next to Jay.
It's gonna
No,
sit on his
I
lap.
don't like him. I don't like him that much.
Man, get your dollar bills ready.
I'll see if I can, before I get out of here, if I can just jump on a random live in the middle of the week. If I can find something. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now for me to talk about anyway. I haven't been this excited about shows. I've got
I would
Daredevil
seriously
watch.
do a reacher with you if you want.
Oh yeah, I'll do I'd love to talk about Reacher. SWAT is one of my favorite TV shows, which just got canceled again. So but yeah, I've got all this stuff to watch. But yeah, definitely a Reacher one would be great. But one of these days I'm just gonna go sit with Jay, but like, bro, we've got 3 seasons to watch. Let's go.
We got that. I eventually want to do one on Invincible because
Yes, I do want to talk about Invincible. I also wanted to talk with somebody about Jack Ryan.
yeah. Oh,
I'm a
that's
big
so
fan of that
cool.
show. I would love to talk about Jack Ryan as well. You haven't watched much of that either, have you? We got like halfway through the first season and then you had to stop. So me and you actually have to go back through all of Jack Ryan.
Bro, it's been so long. I just need to rewatch it anyway.
Bro, yeah, we need to watch the whole thing. Plus, we got to get it because there's a movie coming.
That's
with
true.
Krasinski. So we've got to rewatch the whole thing anyway. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Eddie, I'll try to coordinate with you.
Cool.
See if I can do something because a lot of what I got to do in the next couple of weeks, I got to get with Jay to help me. I got to get a lot of the big stuff like this couch out of here. Then I'm only going to be able to do it on my days off from work.
Yeah.
So, but this has been fun. Phable, I'm glad I got to meet you, brother. Nope. I think this is the first time you and I have been
first time.
face-to-face, so, and Triple B, bro, 2 weeks in a row. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, bro. Oh, yeah,
Next
brother.
time, though, I'll make sure I'm more stocked up and I'll match with you. But
God
I will
bless that
definitely catch
40
all y'all. Thank y'all again, seriously, for all the support
Later, Sean.
here. And I love what all of y'all are doing on your channels as well. So I just want everybody to know that. I love it.
You're awesome, Sean, man. Oh,
Love
yeah.
you, brother.
Glad I got to hang out with
See you,
you.
Sean.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
You too, buddy.
There.
Oh, yeah,
Hold
Sean.
on. I got to get my thing so I can drop you out. Okay, there he goes.
Man, we were
Always
just
good,
playing
man.
musical chairs tonight.
Yeah,
All over
I
the
know.
place.
I've been all over the place too. Up, down, left, right.
It's like playing nerd chat bingo or with checkers or something.
That pretty easy to use there. The Yard Stream or Stream Yard or what are we on? Restream.
Restream.
Yeah, is it because like it just you can just throw us up. We go wherever we want. That's got to be pretty sweet.
It is like there's a lot of features from like StreamYard that I wish were on this one, but I think the only thing that bothers me about this is the chat. Like sometimes has that huge delay, and then sometimes it doesn't. But outside of that, I like using this. Plus, it's a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah. I just use my OBS when I do my stuff, but OBS be kind of hard to bring. It's a little bit difficult to bring people on that stream. I'd have to use like Video Ninja and stuff like that. I'm like, It's almost like better, almost easier for me to go by myself when I go live. So I'm glad like I can come live on your show and like I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about pushing all the buttons.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. That's
Mhm.
that's kind of what it's here for. You know, if you got a channel, I want you on here. I want you to talk about what you're doing. That's what I'm going to actually ask you all here in a little bit before we sign off, because I do have a movie night with Jenna tonight. We've been rewatching the Men in Black franchise, so tonight is the third one.
Wow.
So, what I really wanted to talk about Daredevil.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, I've been excited for this since they announced it because I was part of that, Save Daredevil campaign that happened after the third season where they were like, yeah, Netflix is going to cancel it. I was like, man, somebody's got to pick the show up. But I'm kind of glad at the same time that it took this time, it took this break to retool and make sure, most of the people didn't have other things going on. Like, again, the fact that, and it's such a small thing, but it just made me so excited. The fact that even Josie was there for the first episode from Josie's Bar. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the same actress that played Josie in the Netflix show. But then they had that bait and switch. They're like, hey, this is going to be exactly like Netflix. Well, no, it's not. Not exactly like Netflix. We're gonna take him out of Hell's Kitchen. Karen's gonna move to San Francisco. We popped Foggy. Like, I think that's I think what they've decided to do was bold, and I think it paid off so far with these first two episodes. Like, I can't wait to see if it's really Vanessa pulling the strings. I can't wait for us to find out that he already killed her lover. When I heard that Adam thing, I didn't catch it the first time I watched it. I think I was so amped up from watching it the first time, I didn't catch it. So when I was watching it earlier today and I heard that I know about Adam, I was like, what is this? It's like Vanessa was stepping out on him. And then the next episode we see what we see, and I'm like, huh. So we're not even going to see Adam. Adam's already gone.
Yeah, the
That's
only
my theory, at least.
the only thing I don't like about this new skinny Kingpin is all I can see now is him in Full Metal Jacket
Oh man.
because he looks just like the Private again. And when he came on, and he looks good. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
but when I
Yeah.
first saw him, I was like, oh no.
The first time I remember seeing Vincent D'Onofrio was Adventures in Babysitting.
Thor. That was
Yeah.
Thor. Yeah.
Men
Exactly.
in Black, the first one.
Oh yeah, he was.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
he's the
just
farmer.
reminded me. There was a question, and I'm
Was
going
it
to
the
find out.
sound?
from here. Oh, okay, I remember now. Speaking of Men in Black, real fast. Does anybody know that the guy that created Men in Black, has he done anything else? Like the actual comic creator? Because Jenna was looking that up earlier, and she's like, can you ask on the show if anybody's ever seen anything else by this guy? Because she was trying to find the guy, like, to see what else he's done outside of Men in Black. And she's like, there's nothing.
I don't even know his name.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah,
'Cause there's-
likewise.
Lowell
Say,
Eddie
Cunningham.
doesn't know. I don't know.
Lowell Cunningham.
His
Lowell-
name is. Yeah.
Lowell Cunningham.
Yeah,
And
he did that other book about that one character that did that stuff with those people. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's because the real Men in Black
I read
took him
that.
out for letting his secrets out.
it was a good book. You should look it up.
Oh my goodness. She's a little under the
Came
weather.
out some time ago.
Yeah,
You know?
it was sometime between like 2 and 25 years ago. It was in there somewhere.
Yeah, she's a little under the weather. All right, have her come in here so you could tell her that, because she was just like, well, they might know because I don't.
Did you find his name?
Yeah, Phable was saying it. It's
Yeah,
Lowell.
Lowell Cunningham. It looks like the only other thing I got on him is that he made a few comic books based on the Alien Nation IP. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
know
wow.
Alien Nation.
Oh, hell yeah.
He did a few 4-issue minis or 3-issue minis for Malibu. That's the only thing I got on him.
Doesn't your wife read that, Jay? Don't Jenna read that?
What?
Alienation?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No.
I know she does.
No.
I likes the other alien stuff.
Aliens, yeah.
Yeah, just aliens.
Xenomorphs.
Yeah. Which I get corrected on every time I talk about aliens. Yes, it's xenomorphs. It's not just aliens.
Well, then she can't call Predator Predator.
So, sometimes she walks around. She goes, the Yacha, or the Yacha, or however you say it. I was like, you mean predators? Yeah, the Yacha. Okay.
Okay, ask her what Yoda is, and if she knows the answer to that, she's the queen of all.
I'll make a note of that.
There isn't one. So she makes it. That's what I've heard officially.
Huh.
Because I've been looking for years trying to figure out what race he was. And more people were asking when Grogu got popular, and I got so mad when they were calling him Baby Yoda. I'm like, Yoda died like 4 movies ago, people. This isn't Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
But
why would anybody call Grogu Baby Yoda?
yeah.
I did for the longest time. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that, Carfong, that the Cell was crazy.
Oh, dude.
Carfong
The Cell,
nailed it.
like, dude, that movie, watching it the first time, man.
Well, yeah,
like not knowing anything about it except from the
talk
trailer.
about your switcheroos.
Bro.
What the hell's going on? You going in that mind of like a serial killer? Or
Mine was the hooks at the beginning of the movie, man. Where he's like engine hoisting himself up into the air. I was like, oh my God, no, dude, what is this? Ugh.
It was the crank thing with the intestines for me.
Wow.
I'm hungry. Anybody else? No.
Some chitlins.
Backstrapping chitlins all of a sudden.
See, man, this thing goes all over the place, dude. There's.
That's what's fun about it. Like I said before, to me, this show is buddies sitting around a campfire bullshitting, and that's why it can go on for 5 hours and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are times I'm like, okay, I have to actually stop because if not, dude, I'll keep going. Like we've done it before, man. I think the longest one we've done is almost 8 hours.
Wow.
I think so.
You're like 653 or something like that.
There's. I think I've done one. I gotta go back and check. Some of this stuff, dude, runs together. Like, it's just. I think this is like the 20th episode I've done, and I'm just like, the fact that I can keep doing it, because I want to make sure that that's one thing I do. Like, there might be another time I go live, like for this channel, but I'm like, Saturday is the one spot I want to make sure that I always have open. And like I said, now that you have the link, Phable, again, man, anytime you got time, you want to hop on. If there's something you want to talk about, dude, feel free. That's what it's there.
With that restream link, you can continue to hop into the thing.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because StreamYard, you get a new link for every show you do.
Unless the person that's doing it uses the reusable studio. Okay. Like on the Experience, we use a reusable studio now, so it's always the same link. But
I got you. Yeah, no doubt, man. Absolutely, man. I love hanging. Saturday's a little tough for me, but if definitely, without a doubt, if I have some time, I would love to hop on with you guys and chop it up about all this stuff.
The best part about your show, Jay, is that you do this 6 days a week for a job, and you're choosing on your day off to do it again for 8 hours with the same people that you're chatting with
I know.
all week long. So that tells me you love it, dude, and that's what I love about it. It's genuine.
That's the best part, man. I love, like, just you're in the chat on the experience. And I know that I was like, man, these guys, I know they have more to say than what the YouTube chat box will let them put in there. It's like, you know what? It'd be awesome to just get all these folks together. Like that's
Yeah.
my main thing. It's like I want Nope to be on screen with Ed and Triple B, and I want Phable to be over here and be like, hey, these are people that chat in these other chats, and every now and then you got Ed in when on the movie nights, he's in the chat with Robbie and them.
Yeah.
Like that's I want all the fans to come together so they can hang out. Like that's the whole thing. You know, I got some stuff I'm going to talk about every once in a while. Most of these, dude, I don't figure this stuff out until Thursday. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And then either I or Sean make the thumbnail, and then I build the room out and share the link or put it on YouTube or whatever. Like that's
Dude.
the whole fact is bring fans together. That's my whole thing. Like you don't have to have a channel. You don't have to. You just be a fan. Like
You're all part of the community. Come on down and talk. You know.
And you don't.
oh, okay. Thanks. Wow. That's
So we
nice.
go from burping George to farting Alyssa.
Oh, yes.
You getting a bot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. We're getting
Cool.
spam, dude. You made
Wow.
it. Hey, you made it.
Apparently, you set the mood for this chat.
I love that so much. You know the worst part about that is now I got to do this so that stupid crap doesn't show up because I can delete it over here in my chat, but it stays. Well, maybe if I hold on.
Doesn't it count as comments for your channel?
It does. Yeah. See, it stays on here though. That's dumb.
Polyps.
Garfong. Hell yeah,
Nice,
Garfong.
Lorena.
I don't care. It's not like it says
We need
anything
Garfong
bad.
to come up on the show.
It's actually good for you if it goes by number of clicks or whatever.
Polyps have attacked. Yes, they have. I'm just gonna leave it up. I don't care. It's freaking harmless. You want to be
Fart, but my out directly.
Yeah.
I was wanting to change
far.
my
Directly out of my
mic
butt.
to a devil or something. See if I can get you going.
Thank you for clarifying. No.
Tell them how
You're
you really feel, Alyssa. Jesus.
That's
Something
so
tells
great.
me that Nope and I would get arrested if we ever went and had a beer one night.
Our old ladies be leaving us long, or not long into the night. Really,
There would be no bail for a couple days, I'm sure.
yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's cool though. That's not. Oh, it wasn't consecutive, but that's twice now I've been trolled.
Yeah.
Wasn't last Saturday the fart George?
Nah,
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Was
it's like 2 weeks
Or
ago. Yeah.
burping George or farting? What was that? I don't
He was
remember.
farting.
Farting George.
Oh
George
my
in the
goodness.
jungle.
That's
Shit in his
that's
pants.
what I get though. That's what I get when a random person I've never seen before is in my chat. He's like, "Hey, comic fans, can I come on top?" Hell yeah, that's what this show is doing. I was like, it looks like an older guy. It'll be fine. No, it was a clip of an older guy with a fart thing going like looped over, and it took Jay like 10 seconds to figure out what was going on.
The best part was Jenna. Are you gonna like get rid of him or what?
Yeah, take him out. And I was like, what? I thought it was just this mic at first, and then my brain finally clicked to what was going on. That's all right. Sorry you don't like Daredevil, Alyssa. But other people do, so
Did she say that?
Sorry.
yeah, Daredevil
Direct
can.
out
Oh,
of my.
okay. I couldn't see, when on the app I can only see like the top 6.
Yeah. Like I
This
said,
is
for
Daredevil can suck a fat direct out of my my butt.
Oh.
yeah, once I blocked it, like it blocked it on my side of the chat over here, but it still showed up in the overlay.
Yeah, I
So
can see it
that-
over there.
It's poetically.
What a
Yeah.
polyps.
Clear out my polyps, please. That's what a lot.
Anyway, Daredevil has been great so far. Like I said, I got to get used to the weekly drop. You know, I'm usually a binger, or I'll wait till the thing gets done. Like with Invincible, we watched the first couple episodes of the new season of Invincible, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait, let the whole thing drop so I can binge it right through. I don't know if I'll be able to do that with Daredevil for some reason. Like I'm too excited to see what's happening next week.
Not if you're on the gram, you know. You got to stay off the gram if that's the case.
Yeah, and my job.
Yeah,
Like,
with your
that's-
job,
You're gonna hear
you're gonna get
spoilers.
spoiled. I'm probably
Like-
gonna be watching it every week. I'll probably drop a little recap every week on it just because.
Like I know we don't have Dan anymore, but that was, if I had to say there was the worst part of working with Dan was the shows where he was talking about this stuff and I hadn't watched it yet. Like on Tuesday when he
Yeah.
used to have a show on Tuesday, I'd have to just be like, okay, maybe it'll be like my regular comic brain and I'll forget by the time the show's over. But
Hey, Phable, do you watch Reacher?
No, I've never caught it. I never caught it.
Okay. What about you, Nope? Do you watch Reacher?
No, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to because,
Now,
you're
when
such
you
a
say
fan of
start
it,
it, do you
so-
mean season 3 or season 1?
Season 1. Yeah, I haven't watched
I
it yet.
envy you, my brother. You have a great journey ahead of you.
That
I'm
is
not
the beauty
lying.
of finding something late, is you get to
Yep.
watch it all in one shot.
I'm not even exaggerating. I've watched season 1 and 2 of Reacher at least a dozen times, just
Wow.
waiting for season 3 to come out. It's that good.
That good, huh?
That's the way I was with Game of Thrones.
Are you one of those? His name is Alan, right?
Alan Richardson. Yep.
Are you one of those guys who want him to play Batman? 'Cause I see that a lot.
Absolutely. To me, he looks like Capullo's Batman. He's got the same build and everything. And Richardson has even come out and said, I will be Batman in the Gunn universe and he won't even have to pay me. But it would be a perfect casting. And just like I think this is another topic, we're in a tangent, but I think Henry Cavill's the perfect for the next Bond. I would love to see Cavill be the next Bond.
Yeah, especially that he's getting older now. You can put a little gray on the side and stuff.
And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
British, so
Yep.
he wouldn't have to fake the accent.
Right.
He's perfect. So now I took us from Daredevil to Little House, and now I'm from Reacher to.
He's got to do the gun pump though. He's got to do the cock
Yeah.
the arm shit in Bond.
dude, let me tell you this, man. When we first watched Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, and the Calverine showed up and he did that, I squealed. I was fanboying so hard when I saw it because I like Henry Cavill to begin with.
Yeah.
So when I saw that Wolverine, you were just leaving. I was like, oh yes, I love that part so much.
Yep.
Let me get some stuff set up here real quick. So Triple B, you got anything going on other than your live, of course?
Yeah, probably got another unboxing video coming out on Monday. I put one up I got one I uploaded to YouTube. They age restricted it today. I was like, what the heck? And so I even disputed it, but they said, nope, it's still age restricted. I'm like, why is it? It was Dynamite decided to send me nothing but cosplay covers. And so I got a mystery 10-pack of cosplay covers. And I didn't think that they would really do that. So I gotta I'm gonna tweak out the video and see really why they age restricted it. But even if they did, I got a Patreon now. So I can throw it up on Patreon, and if you're 18 and up and you want to go ahead and watch some a little bit more spicy covers out there, you can go ahead and do that. It's I have it. I don't have it on me. I don't remember. It's actually my channel name. So you go to Patreon and put BBB Haunted Comics. That's where it's at right there. But I just started it, trying to get some. I'm not monetized or anything like that. If I can get anything, a little bit of support for the channel, that will help out so I can put out better stuff. But if not, it's, it's all good. I'm just I'm still having fun, but yeah, I got, my unboxing videos on Mondays and then the live on Wednesday night for sure. The hottest covers of the week, which I've looked at the covers this week and we don't really have that many hot covers coming out this week. So I'm really going to have to put in some work to try to find what covers are coming out this week. and then are probably going to be doing the Daredevil recaps of each episode. So definitely going to be check out the channel for that. I'll try to have those out probably like Thursday. So episode 3, I'll have it out on Thursday. It comes out on Tuesday, so a couple days to get it recorded. But it's just going to be a recap, my reaction to it. I'm not going to like go into it big, a deep dive into it, just like, you know, a reaction to it. And yeah, so that's what's going down with the Haunted Comics channel.
Nice. And I'm pretty sure the link is in the description too, but I dropped it in the chat for anybody. Still waiting for Nope to do an art channel, so nothing there. But Nope, you got anything comic wise you want to talk about?
Not much. I did actually start reading that Trick or Treat hardcover, Eddie.
Like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, it's great.
I got to read the second half of it, the Days of the Dead half, but the first 4 were solid, and it actually reminded me that Hyde Street comic from Ghost Machine, right along the line, like in the same vein of Trick or Treat. Literally, to where, like, you know, people stumble into a situation where karma gets them into a bad whatever, and then these guys come and reap their souls and kind of stuff. So it's good. It's really good. And I think you like the characters involved with it too. So,
well, there's a part 2 to Trick or Treat that the Kickstarter ended like a month or so ago that I got into. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'll let you know if I hear. Because I try to keep like 6 months ahead on comics and stuff, especially as the 6 months is getting closer to Halloween time. Because I want to make sure that I get all the covers I want for my scary stuff.
Yeah, and some of that stuff winds up on BackerKit, doesn't it? Or you can go
sometimes
back and buy it on there.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. And plus, I got a couple of connections that can help hook me up with stuff if I can't find it. But I should know when it's going to be out because they haven't shipped for the Kickstarter backers yet. So I know it hasn't been released yet, but it's coming. I can't wait. I've been cheesing on that one ever since I signed up for the Kickstarter.
So I can't talk about it just yet. It'll probably be the show on the 15th, which I believe is next week. But if you're a fan of Ghost Machine, just stay tuned because on the EXP, something's happening.
A guest?
Maybe. I can't say too much.
That doesn't say anything without saying
exactly.
That's
somebody that uses something to type words on something that creates something that we may or may not have liked to look at.
Yeah. Yes.
Well put.
But I'm super excited for this, and the minute I get the go ahead, you're gonna see it everywhere. So just stay tuned.
Now, are you talking EXP or Hydra?
EXP. I wish it was me.
Okay.
I wish it was this.
Trickle down, right? You still talk about it afterwards.
That's true.
Clip it.
It's true.
Find out who his cousin is that he had a fight with in 4th grade and invite him on. He'll show up.
That's true.
We can take it from that angle.
That's true. But just know, y'all, it's something good. Like we have this Monday. We're gonna have a special guest on the Experience for Talking Shop. Now, Talking Shop has been kind of off the air for a little while, but it's coming back. It's kind of like we get a big guest, and maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, it comes on. But we're gonna have Thomas Healy, who is writing Black Ritual, the Book of Nyx. Apparently, this has something. See, I don't know too much about this, but apparently, it has something to do, or he's like the editor of the Spawn universe or something like that. But he was on the FOC show with Matthias Lewis and Kyle this past Friday, and we got him to come on Monday to talk to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Miss Jen. It's either Miss Jen or Kyle, but yeah, super excited for that show.
I thought you were talking about Henri's interview show. What was the name of his?
It was just, I think Henri called it virtual signings.
Okay.
I think virtual signings, or he just called it Kicking It with Henri.
For some reason, when you said Talking Soup, I thought of Henri, so sorry.
Yeah. No, all good, but that's on the EXP. That link is going to be not where I thought it was. So give me a second. There we go. So do me a favor, folks. I talk about the EXP all the time. It's not just because it's my job. It's an awesome place. I love all the folks there. So be sure to check it out. Shows Monday through Friday.
To tell you one thing real quick, Jay, is when I started watching EXP, like, I don't know, maybe the pandemic age, like a while ago, I owned 0 Dynamite books. You want to know how many I own now? 800.
Woo, boy.
Tell me about it, bro.
It's a lot of 10 packs.
It is. It's a lot of 10 packs.
You just bought a 110 pack not too long ago.
I received them today. They're right there.
Did the postman give you a couple of these when he was delivering those?
I know. It was a big old box. Big old box, man. I opened it up, just look at them. They're all in each 10 packs is in a Gemini, so they're gonna make for some unboxing videos.
Did you get the Mwah book?
I don't know, maybe. No, I actually and I ordered I just bought like 300 bags and boards so I can get them all bagged and board too. So
Jay, I seriously have thought about buying that Mwah Valentine special and doing a video on it because I'm friends on Facebook with Rex, and then I was going to link him to the video. I was going to do a review of it, and I was going to say, and my friend Rex loves this.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
Take care, bro. Take care.
Save your bait.
That may or may not happen, and I'm thinking it may more than it may not.
Bro, you should. You should. Come on, man. You had CJ do that Rex Coppertone cover on that blank, man.
If that ever comes on for sale, I would buy a copy.
God, it's freaking weird.
I have an idea for a Rex cover that has to do with Rudolph and one of my Shiver Suspense blanks.
Nice.
So he'd like it if I can pull it off. But
did you ever watch Godzilla versus Rudolph? Or no, Bambi. Godzilla versus Bambi. You have to Google that.
Okay.
It is one of the greatest videos ever made, and it was made way back in like the mid 90s when the internet was just taking off. And it's only about 20 seconds long, but it's beautiful. Trust me.
So, Phable, know you got your Friday show, man. But I also know is this your first time hosting March Madness movie reviews?
Yeah, first time doing any kind of movie review content on my channel. First time joining Robbie's March Madness thing. Yeah, it's an honor. You know what I mean? That he asked me to join, and because I had told him, I said, I'm probably going to try to do some movie review stuff on my channel because all I do is my live show. Mm-hmm. And when March Madness came around, he hit me up. He said, dude, you want to join March Madness? I was like, hell yeah, I want to join March Madness.
What movie are you going to get to do?
Well, so far we did one already. We did Flatliners from 1990. Next one up is Fight Club. Doing Fight Club next. And then my last one will be Old Boy.
Oh, goodness.
2003.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's movies where people go crazy and shit like that. So
this coming Friday, you're going to be doing Fight Club?
No. Fridays I do my live show, the Phable show. Yeah, we just talk about pop culture news and stuff like that with the gang and everything. But this Monday, well, I would drop this Tuesday, but I'm going to be on Robbie's March Madness show, so I'm not going to do one this week. The following Tuesday, though, will be the Fight Club.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Dead Ringers by David Cronenberg on Monday.
Yeah, Fight Club is on the 18th, and Old Boy is on the 25th.
Yeah.
And what is Old Boy? I don't know that one.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it's a fantastic movie. If you like Korean horror movies.
Oh, I love horror movies.
Yeah, if you love like that kind of, if you like Squid Games, that kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely do Old Boy. Old Boy is like, it's like so inspirational to everything that's come out since Old Boy.
I know what I'll be
for
doing
Korean
tomorrow.
cinema.
I'll be
Yeah.
watching Old Boy.
It's
Fantastic.
crazy.
All
Now-
right, I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
You like Daredevil, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember the Daredevil fight scene from the first season where he fights in the hallway, the continuous shot? That's an homage to Old Boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a messed up movie.
But
Yeah,
insert
bad.
Hammer,
Better
right?
be if it's horror and it's coming from Phable. It better be a mess.
I mean, I wouldn't call it horror. It's more like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
fantastic. It's a great film. One of my favorites.
They did like a not a reboot or maybe a remake with
They did a
Josh
remake.
Brolin?
Yeah, Spike
Josh
Lee
Brolin
directed
and
it
Elizabeth
with
Olsen.
Josh Brolin. Yeah.
Do they have a dubbed
pretty
You
good.
get to
version?
see some
Or
stuff.
do they have a dubbed version, or is it? Do you have to read it?
I would read it. I would read it.
Okay.
I
I
only
might have
saw it.
trouble with that because black and white, when they're together, I can't make out.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
I gotcha.
if the lettering is white and it's black, I might not be able to, but I'll sure get. Is it a colored movie? It's a colored movie, right?
Yeah. But I mean, if there's a dub version, I haven't seen it. It just hits harder in Korean. But yeah, no, it's worth to watch it. Even if it's a dub, I would still watch it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no problem, Triple B. Always great to have you, boss. So
yeah.
you got those, and of course you got the Blame Fable show on Fridays, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right?
Yep. 9, 8 Central, Friday nights. Yeah, we just talk about pop culture. We just wrapped up this one. We talked about the Daredevil show, but not in a spoilery way, the way we did it tonight. And we talked about John Cena turning heel in the WWE, which was
About damn
big thing.
time.
He missed such a great opportunity though, because he should have grabbed the mic and said, "Now you can. I bet you can see me now," or something.
Yeah,
That would have been perfect.
That would have been
Or
good.
or even last week or this week, Cody Rhodes talked about when he on SmackDown, he should have said, "Now we all see you," or something.
Right.
I mean, you're missing a golden opportunity to have fun with that. And
I like what CM Punk did though. When CM Punk was like, "I'm gonna make a wish you guys never did," I was like, "Yeah."
yes,
Yeah, we talked
I
about
love
that.
Punk.
Talk about the Oscars. Not really too much about the Oscars, but the winners and stuff like that. Lenora Dune winning for effects and stuff like that. So yeah, come hang out Friday nights if you guys ain't doing that. 9 p.m. Eastern, One Collection Down channel. Blame Fable show, man. It's awesome.
Cool. What do you guys think of what they released about Gene Hackman? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It turns out his wife died first, and
Yeah.
he had his Alzheimer's so bad that he didn't know she was dead. But I haven't heard how the dog died.
The dog, right? Yeah, that's the great
I
mystery.
haven't heard anything.
Well,
I read something that
I would
they
imagine. I was just about to say that I would imagine for 2 weeks, if you got Alzheimer's and 2 weeks go by,
Starvation.
the dog's not getting fed,
Right.
Well, I've
or,
always
or watered.
I've always been
Watered is
told
going
that
to
if
be
you
worse than.
I've always been told that if you die around your pets will eat you.
Oh.
If they know you're dead, because they can tell you're dead. And if a dog was starving, so I don't know.
Yeah,
the
that's usually the case, is they're starved.
Because the other
But-
weird thing is that if one report now, unless the report was wrong, because it was one of the first ones, said there were pills all over the
All over.
bathroom from where the wife's body was. So the dog might have ate pills or something.
That's true.
That's true.
See, I read somewhere that the dog there wasn't anything wrong with the dog. That the dog didn't die.
They originally said there were 3 dogs, and 2
Oh.
of them were outside and okay, and the other one they had found dead inside with them, and that's what made them think it was carbon monoxide at first.
Right.
Yeah,
Because he was dead, she was dead, and the dog was dead.
yeah. But there's another report that said that there wasn't a dead dog. That I don't know how that got mixed in there. But again, there's so many conflicting things
Right.
that
Everybody's trying to get out with the first story, playing a game of telephone by the time everybody actually gets the real one.
Oh, she died in a crate. That's terrible.
oh,
That's just terrible all the way around.
yeah,
Man.
it's just
It's certainly not what I was expecting to hear.
no, it's so weird, man.
All of it's
Bizarre.
weird. It's weird for him being with a dead body and not knowing it for a week. And it's weird that he was dead for like 10 days. So that means she was dead for like 15 days, 16 days.
Right.
I can't even imagine what that. Uh,
And there's no kind of caretakers or anything. Like,
she was his caretaker, and apparently she caught some kind of viral. I don't remember what kind of virus it was. They didn't say corona, but she had some kind of viral thing
started with
that
an
she didn't want to go to that. How they know all this, I don't know, but they're presuming that she didn't want to go to the hospital because she didn't want to leave Gene alone. But how the hell do they know that if she was dead a
Could
week
have been
before?
text messages or something.
Well,
Possibly.
then whoever got those text messages should have done something.
Follow ups, definitely. Yeah.
You would think. I mean, good
Oh,
lord.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Somebody that's so worried about why you're not going to the doctor over something. It's kind of weird that you're not checking up on that person when you haven't heard from them in a few days, you know?
Right. Well, I'm just glad that it doesn't look like it's anything foul play.
Yeah.
There you go, Lorena. I know it started with an H. I just couldn't remember what it was called.
But what? I've never even
Hantavirus.
heard of that. Is
Yeah,
that
me
something
neither.
new? Is that our new bird flu for this year that we got to get a shot for or whatever?
Never know, man. Hantavirus.
Is that the
Affects-
one that makes you turn into Santa Claus?
I was just kidding.
Nope. I'm telling you, we would end up in prison together, brother. We would be in jail. The guards wouldn't let us anywhere near each other because we'd be shooting jokes back and forth.
It starts out like flu-like symptoms. It's naturally found primarily in rodents.
Mm.
Oh my God, she ate one of those Wuhan bats. What the hell?
And we're canceled, Ed. Thanks.
What'd you say?
I said, and we're canceled. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. What happens in Wuhan stays in Wuhan? Oh, never mind. That's not
Never
true.
mind. That's not.
Well, hopefully, we'll be back next week sometime. So yeah, seriously, y'all. In all seriousness, I don't just say it because he's here. I talk about Phable and all those dudes all the time.
He does.
Really great channels, really great dudes. Like, dude, you have no idea how excited I am that you were able to make it tonight and hang out, man. This was awesome. It really
No,
was.
man. You know, I've been asking you for a long time, about your show
I know.
when I get to hang out with you, man. The feeling is mutual, guys. Like, the stuff you do with the EXP and, my guys are involved with that too. Rock and Robbie, John Castle, Spiliotopoulos. That's my guy. I love that dude. He was on the Flatliners review, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just, you guys do great work. And it's like you said earlier, it's the positivity that you guys exude. You know what I mean? You don't bag on nothing too crazy. You have fun when you do. And I'm attracted to that energy always. I'm always going to try to be around stuff like that and promote it if I can. You know what I mean? When I'm on my show, I always tell them, go check out Jay, Hydrasylum. They killing it over there, blah, blah. How it goes.
Hell yeah, man. It's, like I said, this is the best part about it, because even me being a very socially anxiety person, being able to hang out with people that, I just normally just chat with is always a fun time, man. Like, I always have a good time doing this. Jenna tells me all the time, she's like, you say that you're not a people person, but you really are kind of a people person. I was like, well, that's by accident, okay? I don't do it on purpose. Somehow it's just like I get a little befuddled sometimes, a little mulled in my brain trying to talk. I get tongue tied, but it really is just sitting around hanging out with folks, man. Like, just having a good time.
It helps when it's good people that you're around too, and people you like talking to. That makes it like, I have no trepidation at all talking to any of you guys because I feel like we've known each other forever, even though we've never met. But yeah, there's nothing to it. But I'm gonna try to start getting some stuff going on my channel, but I'm struggling so much. I wrote and did all the music and stuff for your song in like 4 hours. I'm still messing around with mine because I'm always so damn perfectionist trying to get a recording the perfect, and it's just like I got to step away, and then I don't want to go back, and then I go back and I start and I'm like, yeah, that god damn, you know how it goes.
Yeah,
Yours,
I
I just
do.
whipped it out because it was for you. And I'm like, I'm just gonna give it to him and see if he likes it. And
Yeah.
you liked it. Like, cool.
Phrasing,
Me, I'm driving
Phrasing,
myself nuts. What'd you say?
phrasing. Just whipped it out and gave it to me and
Whipped
hoped I
it out,
liked it.
yeah. That's
That's
what I'm
right.
saying.
Whipped it out.
That sounded
I
crazy.
gave it to you and you
Do you
liked
like?
it,
And
baby.
you liked it.
And you're like, I'm gonna have it again and again and again all week long.
Yeah, yes. And let me tell you
Wow.
something. In all honesty, Ed, I am glad that you made that. I love that. We do use that for the show. We use it for like our regular videos now. It would have taken me days to do that because I'm the same way, man. Every time I listen to something that I do, I'm like, well, maybe I can, maybe I can tweak it a little bit more, kind of fix this, do something different here. So I'm very glad and very grateful that you made this for us.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you liked it. It was fun. But trying to do your own, I'm just nitpicking everything. I might just say to hell with a song for a while and just throw some stuff out there and see how I like it and how it looks. And
Exactly. So you can have it looking like this.
heck yeah.
Mhm.
And then once again, as always, here's that link. He might not have anything up there, but go ahead. Go ahead, folks. Just sub up. That way, the minute he drops something,
You can be
you'll be
ready.
one of the first people to know.
You can be the first one to point and laugh. There you go.
No, I think you're gonna do a great job, man. You've picked a very good like little niche there. Like that's a lot of crossover too.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, because
it'll
I'm
all
sure
come
I'll
together.
stray. I'll
It'll
stray. I
it'll
might
all
do
come
stuff on
together with time.
Reacher a little because I love Reacher so much. But
well, that's the thing, man. I make plans all the time, but I'm always like wherever the guys that are on the show with me or the folks in the chat with whatever they want to talk about, I can always switch gears. Like you'll do
Yeah.
the same thing. This was supposed to be like a Daredevil centric show. Yeah, we did our Daredevil talk, but then that was like an hour and a half ago.
for those of you who haven't seen Reacher yet, let me just tell you one little thing. And if it don't hook you, then just forget it. Because this is one of the most epic moments. Okay? So there's a bad guy, and his cliche is throwing his victims out of a helicopter in the woods and killing them. And Reacher's on his ass. And he keeps calling the people that he sends to Reacher after Reacher has killed them, and he answers the phone. And he's done this a few times. So finally, after like he's killed the 12th one, he calls from one of the guy's phones, and the main bad guy's like, "Is it done?" And he goes, "Not the way you want it." And he's like, "Reacher, I give up. What can I do for you? There's got to be something you want. What do you want?" And Reacher looks right into the camera and says, "I want to throw you out of a helicopter," and hangs up. If that doesn't grab you, nothing will, because that's what the whole show is like.
For me, it's that very first scene when he's walking into the diner
Oh,
and that dude is yelling at his girlfriend or his wife, and he just stands there and stares until the guy apologizes.
he didn't even say a word. The guy's like, "What's your effing problem? I'm talking to you, asshole." And then he just keeps staring at him, and all of a sudden the guy's like, "I'm having a bad day. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again." Good stuff. Watch it so we can talk about it. Damn it.
I'm going to.
All right, I'm going to drop everybody out so I can do the ending.
Don't forget, if your state celebrates it, you got to flip your clock ahead tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no.
isn't it?
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's what really sucks because it's really like 3 o'clock almost or whatever.
No.
Damn. Well, as always, for Nope and Eddie, appreciate you guys showing up, coming on and talking about this Phable. Again, man, thank you so much. Like,
No, it's been a pleasure, dude. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, hanging
so
out with
awesome.
Nope, Triple B, Eddie, Eddie Von B, everybody, man. You guys, like I said, you guys are awesome. Anything I can do to get more eyes on this, I will. You know what I mean?
Have they been outside recently?
No, but do you need help? Blink your eyes if you need help over there.
No,
I'm fixing
no, my captor just got home, so yeah.
We're fixing to end. We're fixing to end. I'm about to drop everybody off. Out. Just wanted to make sure, you guys have an awesome night, and hopefully I'll see y'all during the week. Y'all take care.
Yep. Love you guys. Hell Hydra.
Right, see you guys.
Oh, all right. Man, it's a great show. Like, it was very awesome that Kyle that would have been cool, but it's very awesome that Sean got to actually be on our show. And again, just always appreciative of everybody that is in the chat, everybody that shows up to be on the show with me. Like, it means the world to me. I love doing this. I love hanging out with y'all on Saturdays. So just you stay safe. You have an awesome rest of your week, and wait for me to do the awkward hand thing I'm going to do, because usually I cut myself off too early. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you're watching on the rewind. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch everybody later.